political theater or progress.
Take your political theater to Texas.
This is not about political theater.
And it was more political theater than anything.
It's nothing more than pure political theater.
It's pure political theater.
It's a constant struggle. Big, big trouble. Let's fix it on the double.
Nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga, nigga, nigga shit. Nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga, nigga, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga, nigga, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga, nigga, nigga shit. Nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga, nigga, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga shit, nigga, nigga, nigga shit. I'm sick of worrying about the government. I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that, Kev.
That is still so very hilarious to me. That's why I have not changed it. Welcome, everybody. It's Political Theater with Dr. T. I am Dr. T, the mistress of evil. Apparently, I've been stressing people out. So, hey. Okay. Y'all, thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. You know it does affect the algorithms. Let people know that we are live. If you are new to my channel, which I suspect many of you are, hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Welcome to the Political Theater Show. Every Tuesday, we are here discussing political news, and then we do deep dives. As you can tell by the title, today's deep dive will be the politics of meanness. And not the actual definition of it, although we'll talk about that a little bit. But I am going to have a special guest. And so if you came here to be nosy and you want to hear me talk about why I left social media, then you can come back about 7:45. 7:45, 8 o'clock-ish. That's when we'll start doing the deep dive with our special guest for the evening. But if you're here for political theater, as many of you have joined this community, we're here. And we are going to talk about some of the things that have been going on in the world and the politics of them. And I am here, as always, with Dr. H. Welcome him to the show. How are you, Dr. H?
Doing all right. How are you?
Oh, you just add a little light to you.
Yes, I gotta, spruce it up a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. People.
Yeah. You're looking very light skinned today.
Well, I haven't got as much sun. Trying to stay out of this heat. Nobody
has. Oh my God, so happy to see you. I was like, her YouTube is going to be up. LOL. I rarely comment, but I was sad. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot of sadness. People were eulogizing you a little bit.
That's weird. Let's save it for later. We'll talk about that later. I just want to say, though, in 24 hours, I got like 800 new YouTube subscribers.
There you go.
No, I've been asking people to subscribe to my YouTube for how long? And then
relentlessly for weeks.
Relentlessly.
I've been around for a year. So.
Yeah. I've been asking people to subscribe. And
but once you cut off one source, they gotta go somewhere else.
They want to be nosy. My last video got over 5,000 views, Dr. Hall.
Nice. Those are good numbers.
Yeah, the other one that I did good numbers on was with my other profile, Professor Cinephile, and that was my Sinners review. I think it was like 11 or 12,000. Right?
So people wanted to hear you talk about the Sinners.
I guess. Dr. Hall, I have my tinfoil hat on tonight.
From the beginning. We're starting off.
Oh no, we're doing the whole thing. And that damn allegedly banner is going to be popping.
Okay, allegedly.
Because I'm going to be talking shit.
All right. Not the first time.
Yes, run to Patreon too. My Patreon subscribers boom through the roof, Dr. Hall.
Yeah.
I doubled my monthly subscription income overnight.
There you go.
I've been asking people to join my Patreon too. Like,
you have.
What are we talking about here? Like,
we do it once a week.
I do. I ask people all the time, subscribe to my Patreon. And they wouldn't. Yeah. And then I told people for free. Yeah, I told people as of August 31st, ain't gonna be no free shit on there either. So
yeah,
you subscribe, pay $1 or more. That's nice. Shout out to everybody who had already subscribed. Shout out to people who were already had been a loyal supporter Appreciate you. Got to see other sides of me, right? So the people that watch political theater,
Yes.
got to see just how mean I am.
There you go.
My goodness. Is Mitchie on the list tonight? We could talk about him. I heard he's brain dead.
Yeah.
But then somebody said that they had a conversation, 20-minute conversation with him, Dr. Hall.
Sure. Maybe a Ouija board was involved, but they had a conversation.
Let me actually open up the docket. How about that? How about
yes, we should be on the docket. It isn't
about
where we were starting, but
how about I be prepared for the show? How about I be a professional since we got new people watching?
Yes.
Again, if you're new to the show, we're going to talk about political things. Join us in the chat. Your comments can come in the chat. You know, if you have questions or whatever, you can put them in the chat. Sometimes I answer them. People make comments. Sometimes I put them on the screen. It's all love. It's all good. So definitely, let's get this popping. Dr. Hall, Tyler Robinson is having his preliminary trial, right?
Finally.
And it's interesting because and a lot of people don't even remember who he is.
That name? No, we haven't heard that name.
Don't know that name. You know what? Every time I get on the New York Post,
hey, it's resource heavy, that page.
Yeah, no. So I'm not even gonna open it. There was a video.
We talked for a second about how news pages are now like full of like all these ram churning ads.
Yes.
Weird ads, AI ads, the
weirdest and pictures of things that make you want to squirm. And I'm just like, oh, absolutely not. No,
you gotta swim through that to get any ounce of what could be at all true news. And it really kind of degrades the value of what they're trying to promote, that you have to swim like all these pop-ups and things that we've been saying since the 90s. Like, we don't like advertising this way. And this is how they give us our news online now.
All right. Well, Tyler Robinson, for people who forgot, is the person who they are saying
has been accused
of shooting Charlie Kirk. They don't know if he did it or not. Innocent until proven guilty.
In this country,
right. The burden of proof is on the prosecution to prove without a reasonable doubt that this man shot Charlie Kirk. I don't think they're gonna be able to pull it off.
Pull off the proving.
Hold on, where's my banner? I might as well just put the damn
banner up now. Allegedly. Let's start
right before they try to sue me. Because I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it.
Well, they have yet to prove. They have yet to give us the literal.
Yeah. So until they prove it, I'm going to say the man didn't do it. He's innocent. He's innocent. And it's interesting how the phrase is innocent until proven guilty, but the verdicts are either guilty or not guilty.
Right.
Not innocent right?
Or guilty. Yeah.
The United States is so screwed. I don't even know.
It's interesting when you look at it through that lens.
So anyway, apparently there was a statement from the family. Charlie was a beloved husband, son, brother, friend, and father. Every court proceeding serves as a painful reminder of his death and the loss that has irrevocably impacted our lives and the lives of his children. We remain deeply grateful for the support, prayers, and kindness we have received. The outpouring has sustained us during the darkest days of our lives. Out of respect for the judicial process, we will not be commenting further at this time. We ask for our privacy. Okay. Well, I get it. Like, you don't want to interfere with, the legal proceedings. They said that Erica left crying, dabbing that middle eye to get the tears to come out with that napkin that she does. Remember several months ago, we talked about that trick. Like you just poke at your middle of your eye enough and you'll start tearing up.
She's not a super emotive person normally. So
no, well, she shows a lot of like evil. Is evil an emotion?
No, actually, that is not considered an emotion.
Well, Dr. Hall, you're the psychologist, so you know better than me. All right. Yeah. Well, he's on trial.
A lot of rancor. She shows a lot of rancor.
Shows a lot of rancor. Yeah,
a big word.
That's a big word. That's an SAT word.
I know a lot of words. I'm having a day where I can't use small words.
Okay.
Like all day. I've been looking for the small words, but the big ones come out first. It's annoying.
That's okay. You got to be able to read this high to get on this ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I saw something. It actually came across Facebook, which I actually have a private account on Facebook. It's the oldest account that I have. I got on Facebook in 2004.
Early days when you had to have a school ID.
You had to have an Ivy League. address.
Yeah. That's
no.
earliest.
I was on there before they opened it up to the rest of you.
The rest of us were just silently waiting on this magical thing they called Facebook that only the smart kids could access.
Only the smart kids. You had to have an Ivy League email in order to join. And I graduated from 2 years.
Was not nice enough.
Yeah, that was back in the day when you could graduate from a school and they let you keep your email.
Yep.
So I was able to use that. So I've been on there since then. So we're talking about 22 years. I think I had deactivated one time and then came back or whatever, but I've been on there for a while. So I do have that, and that is my private account. So I've always maintained a private personal account, very small numbers. 98% of the people I know offline, right? So this came across my feed. I just wanted to share it with folks. Dr. Hall, Pepsi had a post that said, Pepsi Wild Cherry is what happens when regular cherry stops asking permission. Dr. Hall, people are upset about this.
People are very upset about it.
They said it's encouraging sexual assault. What do you think, Dr. Hall?
I think if I step back and look at how these social media managers have been pushing the envelope on posting in order to get attention on a brand, I definitely don't believe that whoever posted that intended to trigger a bunch of people. But also, once you put it out there, the audience consumes it as they do. So, not to say it's a wild thing to post, but,
Do you think that it represented sexual assault, Dr. Hall?
No.
Okay. I'm just asking your opinion. I don't need all that rigmarole. Like, what?
What do you think of it, Dr. Hall? Yeah. I think they were trying to be provocative and get the people going.
I think it's very much like the blurred lines discourse, right?
Yeah.
Like this idea of giving someone permission to be wild or them not needing permission to wild. It's like, it's your time to do all the things that you want to do.
All right, be yourself.
Be yourself. I think it's the same, thing. I'll never forget with the blurred lines thing. Somebody, it's not funny. Oh, this is why people hate me. Anyway, somebody was holding up a sign talking about how they had been sexually violated by someone, and they were using the TI line, something like tear that ass up or something like that. Yeah. And I was just like, that is a very Black expression to talk about having sex. And generally, as somebody who has sex with men, if he says, I'm going to tear that ass up, I'm going to start stretching.
Yeah.
Just me.
It's a promise more than
anything.
A
promise.
Yes. For a good time. We're going to have a good time.
For a very good time.
Yes.
Does not mean they're literally going to sexually violate me and tear my asshole open, Dr. Hall.
No. It's a colloquialism is what they'd say.
And this was a white person doing it. So, I mean, kind of like got into that space of, why are you commenting on hip hop? And why are you commenting on Black speak? Like, I think they went too far with that. It was very Tumblr-esque. It was like at the height of Tumblr, like,
Yes, that was back. Yeah, no.
And Dr. Hall, to be honest, that whole thing is when I started like shifting and like started thinking, oh, y'all have lost your minds. Y'all are going too far with this shit. You're going too far.
I don't know that Robin Thicke ever recovered.
I know he hasn't. He never recovered. And that's unfortunate. Well, I think the bigger thing was the Pharrell stealing Marvin Gaye's thing, and that kind of wiped him out.
He ain't in the booth like that. Like he suffered for Pharrell's indiscretions.
Yeah.
So
when I read that Pepsi thing, I thought they were just saying you're wild because you can be wild and you don't need permission.
No longer need permission from people to be wild. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
But other people read through a different lens. Once again, once it's out there, the public interprets. I think, once again, that'll get to the heart of the larger discussion we're having later.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess this is all kind of leading into it.
I mean, there's stuff.
There's stuff. Let's move on to hold on. TMZ is another one of these sites that has a lot of issues.
Very RAM heavy. Very RAM heavy.
Very. Let's close this. I don't even know what this is. Man, listen.
What are we doing out here?
What is going on? Ex-Florida Democratic governor nominee Andrew Gillum busted in Alabama for drug possession. They said The ex-politician who lost to Ron DeSantis by a slim margin in 2018's Florida governor's race was arrested last week in Alabama on drug offenses.
Got the picture of him in the
everything,
orange.
of course. They say he was taken into custody Thursday night. And at this point, they said it was yet to have details released. But
is this a full Marion Barry? Did it go full Marion Barry?
I've since seen some words that suggest that he was caught with meth.
Oh.
But they arrested him for possession of like hard drugs and marijuana separately, or cannabis separately. So definitely there was something else. It wasn't just the herb. Yeah, it wasn't just the herb.
He was having a good time in the privacy of a hotel room. And
another hotel room.
Not a hotel room? Was it?
Because the last time he got popped at a hotel room.
Oh, okay.
But nothing stuck because they could not say that the drugs were connected to him that time. He just got caught up in a sketchy motel room with some dudes and some drugs.
Having a good time.
Having a good time.
Having a good time. Privacy of a hotel room.
Somebody probably said, I'm going to tear that ass up.
Hey, somebody might have said that while the proceedings were going down. But also,
that's why people hate me, Dr. Hall.
I mean, that's not why. They got reasons. I feel like one of the things that we all did say in the black community is why you give them white folks a reason to
give them a reason, my nigga.
Don't go giving the white folks a reason to put you in jail. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh no, baby. What is we doing out here?
No, so I think that somebody said, is he not gay? No, I think he did admit to being queer. Like I think in the aftermath of the 2020 stuff, I think there was somebody fact checked me in the comments, but I thought that he came and had a conversation or made a statement or something, because at the time he was married, right? And he was they said it was about cheating on his wife. And I think he made a statement about that, which suggested that he came out as bisexual and felt, that he was being antagonized more for that. And I felt him on that. I was like, you know what, bro? Like you as a black man, I know this is hard because we do not allow black men to be bisexual. I think we actually allow them niggas to be gay. I think we've gotten to a place. I mean, we still talk whatever, but I think that you know what I'm saying, Dr. Hall?
It's like if there's a little less suppression on being gay. I'm not saying there's not heavy weight, but like bisexual, suddenly you're in this zone no one understands.
Right. They don't understand for men. For women, they understand. But for men.
But women have always had like a little bit of there's some room for you to be queer. Whereas for men,
because of the male gaze.
Patriarchy, much more rigid rules around what you can do as male. So yes,
because the men want the women to be bisexual.
Yeah, no, that's once again a good time. But like, if you're a dude gay, you might be male attracted at me.
Yeah,
that makes me uncomfortable.
That makes me uncomfortable. Don't do that. I can't do that.
You might treat me like I treat women. I don't want that.
And he wasn't wrong, because people were they were like, oh my God, he got caught with a dude. I'm like, oh, he got caught with drugs. My man got a problem.
He's got problems.
And I was thinking
bisexual and unable to express himself, live his truth.
And I was thinking about, what this made me think of, Justin Fairfax, and what does it mean for a black man to be a high profile political figure, run for office, lose it, right? So Justin Fairfax lost, well, in part because he just didn't get enough votes, but also he had a scandal come out where he had cheated on his wife or whatever situation was. He was accused of sexual assault, and from two different women from when he went to school. And then he comes out and it's just like trying to make it more about infidelity too. Like I cheated on my wife or whatever situation is.
Yeah.
So his reputation was done. So he lost.
Yeah.
Because he was primed to be the next governor, but he lost.
Yeah.
And he never fully recovered from that either. Like his career really tanked. He was a lawyer who used to have a lot, he had his own practice, used to have steady clients, and then all of that fell off. He got into financial ruin and became very abusive towards his wife. And she had endured a lot of that, right? until he finally kills her, right?
Oh,
yeah, remember
right.
that? You remember that? Okay,
Now,
I had to
yep,
jog
now
your
it's
memory a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's making me think about black
Did we cover him on
men.
the show?
We did.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just bad with names.
No, because the whole thing with all the alphas posing with him, like my frat
Yes.
brother, I'm so sorry
Yes.
that for his loss. What the hell you mean for his loss? He killed his wife.
Right.
Right. Speaking of which, I'm doing a talk with Alpha Phi Alpha tomorrow.
Hey.
Online, you guys can join online.
Link in the bio.
It's streaming on all the Alpha Phi Alpha social media.
There you go. There you go. I mean, we're not saying anything against fraternities. We're just saying.
We're just saying. My dad's an alpha. My brother's an alpha. You know.
Right.
My son is thinking about it. You know. I'm not saying nothing about that.
Legacy.
But it was just. I was thinking about that. So now we have Andrew Gillum, who, interestingly enough, after the first time, he basically had this fall from grace. I don't think anybody really had any idea that this is the type of time he was on. But then he ends up on this podcast with Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye. And it's like this politics podcast. And I thought that was very interesting because I thought to myself, one, why are you women associating yourselves publicly with him? Not to say that they shouldn't, but I just was thinking politically, these are two very, what's the word I want to say? Not shrewd, but
upstanding.
No. Oh no.
I'm in it.
Not Angela. I love Tiffany though. But anyway, politically savvy.
Yes, there we go.
So it was interesting, but then I also think about the ways that Black women work to redeem Black men. Right?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like the ways that Black women function as public redeemers for Black men. And I've seen even some of the discourse around Andrew Gillum, like Gillum this time focusing, well, you know, he's got substance abuse issues and things like that. You know, we should have empathy. Y'all should have been saying that before. Me, that substance abuse was my jam. You know, and I'm just like, y'all should have been saying this. 8
years in substance abuse in college.
Yeah, like
so where you have a problem, address the problem.
Where was the empathy the first time when y'all were focused on the fact that he got found with a dude? We all felt ashamed because this Black man had such a powerful position. He was going up against Ron DeSantis. You all felt ashamed of him as a Black man. Now the conversation is we should have empathy. Because that podcast ended too. And I was wondering why it kind of ended abruptly. And I think Tiffany was just like, I'm out of here. I don't know. I'm not speaking for her. Love to sis. I'm not talking about you, Tiffany. You know, fact check me. Come on the show if you want. And, you know, whatever. But it's sad to see. You don't ever want to see anybody struggling with addiction to the point of
in the public eye.
Well, also like to the point of facing criminal charges, right?
Yes.
I want people to get help. I want people to get the support they need.
Yes.
Inpatient care if needed, detoxing.
Yes.
The social supports. You know, me, former certified alcohol and substance abuse counselor. I'm always going to think about that. You know, I don't come from the medical model where I think of addiction as a disease. I think of it as largely something that can be mitigated by changes in social behaviors. And I believe in recovery. Like if you believe in recovery, then you can't believe the idea that once an addict, always an addict. I believe that people have the right to recover. And after 20 years, they have the right to say, I've recovered from this. I'm no longer this thing. That's just me. It's the harm reductionist in me.
Harm reduction. Motivational interviewing. We out here.
We out here.
We out here doing it every day.
Them MI trainings was hitting.
Yeah.
We did the thing, Dr. Hall. We did the thing.
Yeah.
You do MI, right?
I do MI. I've trained in MI and trained others in using MI techniques. And I do a little bit of it every day.
No, it's real. The carceral system isn't much help with addiction.
And it is the only system we use to treat addiction. It is the only structured system we have for addiction as a country. It does the most.
Yeah, come on. Give it to us.
Huh? Oh, am I going to rant? Can I get there? Yes. We do not have a mental health system, but we do have a carceral system that we use for the purposes of treating mental illness and addiction. And so when someone has significant issues around mental health and addiction, they are more than likely to be sent to the carceral system to get treatment and support. And unfortunately, we know that if we let them out in society, if we provide some of their basic needs, if we provide them with treatment out there, we could have a much better outcome so long as they are connected to a social environment where they can receive love and support. And yet, as a country, we've just decided, nope, we should cast them away into some dark hole and not think about them. And even sometimes find glee and revel in the idea that they might be punished through torture or rape or whatever. And so it bothers me tremendously that we just have given up on a large section of society. And unfortunately, because of privately owned prisons and things like that, there are people who absolutely are making money off of our ineptitude around mental health and addiction.
Gillum gets the brass knuckle treatment for having addiction issues and his sexuality, but Tom King Jr. can disappear for months, miss votes, no town halls. He pops up getting privacy and silence. That's real. That's real. But also
works differently for some people.
Hunter Biden,
a
whole crackhead,
running wild out there. He was running wild,
white pookie,
with Secret Service details,
freebasing, crack cocaine,
openly admitting it,
and is now being embraced on social media because it's a joke. Right. It's funny. He can make jokes. He's allowed to recover.
There's also something about, like, once again, complexion for the protection, but also like people want that kind of like he punches up. So like, yeah, let's put him up on our shoulders because we're such a hierarchical people. And just ignore. Once again, if it's the right identity, you could ignore indiscretions, you could ignore transgression, you could just say, but he's saying the right things and I want to hear it. That's how we get our 47th president.
So speaking of corrupt Black politicians,
hey, let's go.
we got another one. Hold on one second. I got to share the screen. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Hold on.
You want to apologize? One time that you comment. No comment. No comment. Dribble Hill telling people to back up. That's right.
Antar Lumumba made a decision based on the reality of his current situation, as well as in deference to his family, and of course, his ongoing respect and love for the city of Jackson.
Our hope is that the work, the public service that the mayor has put in its entirety will be considered on October the 15th.
Don't throw, as they say, the baby out with the bathwater. Make sure you understand what's at play here. It's very important that you look at the layers and levels, and the history of disparities, the history of double standards is important. So we hope on the 15th that what will be considered is the long-term and long-standing legacy.
Dr. Hall?
Yes.
So Lumumba, mayor of
Jackson, Mississippi, MISSISS.
High profile guy was bringing hope and change.
Yes, doing the thing.
Bringing hope and change to Jackson. Okay. Loved by many. Kind of like Mississippi's Brandon Scott.
Yes.
You know, Brandon Scott from Baltimore, right? I remember when he got elected and stuff. Very promising man. Like you,
promising career.
Remind me of Kwame Kilpatrick in the beginning.
Nice.
What the hell is up with Black mayors and corruption?
Hey.
Oh, God.
So I always, I have so many thoughts about it that
and it's always bribery and money shit.
Always, and the feds are always on it. Always. And I've always wondered, like, how much of it is the game versus you get caught in the game, because we always hear retroactively about, I was just watching a thing on flock cameras and how they've essentially invaded all these local municipalities to get flock cameras everywhere, right? Money's behind that. What they're doing now with data centers, as we talked about last time, a lot of money's behind that. And they're doing the exact same thing where it's like somebody comes with a check or an offer. Clarence Thomas, he got on that boat with them rich people and was like having a good time. But like, so there are some people who get away with it in politics. Things, meetings get moved, things get pushed through. And then there are some who get, ground up by it. And you always just wonder why it's one of the, the more promising of us that it happens to.
Listen,
than the others.
I remember Marion Barry.
Hey, once again, Marion Barry.
Let me tell you something. DC love Marion Barry to this day. You can't say nothing about that man. It don't matter that he was found in a hotel smoking crack with a sex worker. It don't matter.
He kept the trains running on time.
The man was working for the people.
For the people.
Yeah, Kwame Kilpatrick allegedly had that girl killed. Okay, on top of the other corrupt. That man went to jail. They still love him. Dr. Hall, Ray Nagin. Fraud. Corruption.
Right.
Oliver Larry. Wire fraud.
Yeah.
There's so many other. There's a lot of women too. I ain't gonna leave out that. There's several women too.
Yeah.
What is it about y'all becoming mayors that the first thing you think is how I'm gonna steal this money? You know, actually, actually, Dr. Holler, we flipped that. They owe us.
I'm just saying, reparations.
Oh, our girl Katie is here. Good to see you.
Shout out, Katie.
One of my favorite whites.
Yes. One of the good ones.
Okay, if we look at it from the boosters' point of view, one might say that they stealing from the rich and giving to themselves.
Very Robin Hood-esque.
But they give it to themselves. They're not redistributing it to the community.
Like, we know corrupt, like, it's literally happening on a federal level right now. But you got to be the one who dots the I's and crosses the T's to get away with it. Like, I don't even know what integrity is in the office. Like, I barely understand what integrity in the office is.
Now here's the thing. Now, it's always the same shit. It's either bribery. Now, Philly is filled. Philly ain't nothing. Philly is one of the most corrupt governments I've seen in my life. And all the years that I've lived in Philadelphia, in the area, whatever, it ain't all backwards and corrupt. I've literally been at tables where money was being passed to people. Like, it is completely, and it's niggas.
Sealed envelopes.
And it's sealed envelopes. It's government contracts. It's wire fraud. No bid contracts. Like, or that the contracts are bid and they choose their favorites. Like, I remember, I'm not even going to out the department, but like, I was pitching something and they were like, yeah, go ahead. We got to take the other bids, but we'll take yours. And I was just like, you're not even going to consider the other people? Like, it's crazy how this goes. So I'm just trying to think.
Integrity is in the office, to be perfectly honest. Like, from here, I can't see it.
Philly council people keep throwing birthday parties and calling fundraisers. That's absolutely what they do.
Write it off. Hey, there you go.
Off. They will celebrate themselves. They will bring in a major talent act to get the city to pay for it.
Yep. Hey, the president literally just did it. He had a UFC match.
So what they call it councilmanic privilege, and councilmanic privilege is huge in Philadelphia.
All the perks should be at the top. Why be at the top if you ain't got perks?
Let's move on. This Black musician was attacked by Patriot Front. Now I know people saw, the news about
Patriot Front marching on the Capitol on July 4th.
Okay, let me share this. Hold on. They were marching on July 4th, and I had to tell my students, I was like, this, because we just did a segment on the Klan, and I was like, the Klan still exists. They're the ones who still have the Grand Wizards, and they still wear the same things, but they also are the Patriot Front. They're also the Proud Boys, trying to explain that to them. Yeah,
maybe allegedly.
So here we go.
Touch, trigger, just in a blink of an eye, all of this ancestral information that's held within my body.
Boss.
And I immediately knew I wasn't safe. I think their uniform is so plain or so casual that it doesn't stand out. It's not like white men wearing robes and hoods.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stop it there. And he got attacked by them and fought back, of course. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm also thinking about the young woman, the 33-year-old mother of 2 who was riding the DC Metro, and that image that came out that was of her surrounded and things like that.
Yes.
And it's crazy because, you know, a lot of people were talking about how brave she is and all this like, and my first thing was like, are you okay, sis? Like,
yeah, she's
if I had been,
right.
If I had been on that train, I'd have made my way over there and stood by her so that she would not have had to be alone. Because first of all, I know it's stinking there. A bunch of Brodies and Codys, I know that don't watch their ass.
Corn chips.
Definitely dingleberry smell. Okay.
Wow.
And bologna. And I would have stood. See, Dr. Hoda, you don't say I'm racist.
No.
Anyway, I would have stood by her and offered her, you know, some solidarity and protection. And I would have dared one of them to touch me. The photo would have then be one of them under my arm.
Right.
Like,
right.
It was
in a tussle.
Yeah. Is she okay? Right. Like, where's the empathy? Like, that's pure violence there. A Black woman surrounded by white supremacists in this country. Yeah. Where Black women for hundreds of years have been violated by those exact people.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that they didn't agitate her. Like, they didn't, you know, from what we could tell, they didn't bother her.
I mean, but also, you know, one of the hallmarks of supremacy is their mere presence is an agitation. They know in those numbers, right?
Yeah.
Now they know they have the power of the moment, which is what makes it so unfortunate.
Professor, they called her the new Rosa Parks on Threads and then told me I was crazy for calling that a stupid comparison. Absolutely, it's a stupid comparison.
But also the devaluing of Rosa Parks is the type of thing that got you put off the
Jones leave social media.
Right, I was going to say, and once again, a call back to why, you know, you left social media. If you don't read much, you might think someone just sat down on the bus.
Why would you say some dumb shit like that?
Because it's all you know. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Booker T.
No, but then you know, they're telling me you don't know Rosa Parks.
No, you don't.
This woman here, we don't know anything. We don't know if she's an activist. We don't know if she's a Republican. We don't know anything about it. I thought it was really interesting that a lot of white people were weighing in on this and projecting things onto this woman and making her out to be these things when they have no idea who she was. And I remember I was driving and having a car thought where I was just like, what if she's MAGA herself? What if she, you know what I mean? Like, how do we know that? But because she's this Black woman and they just make it whatever thoughts they had about it. And everybody's like, you know, she's probably just trying to get to work and she probably got kids to feed. And she knew that she was focused and stoic in the face of death. I was like, you don't know nothing about this lady.
Not a thing.
But we know how people project a lot, right?
Right.
And so they're talking about, you know, this Pulitzer Prize winning photo. I'm like, what are we? Rosa Parks was an intentional activist.
Yes.
When she got popped, that was like the second or third time she tried that.
Right.
This was intentional.
Yeah.
We don't know if that lady's an activist or anything like that.
She's just a person.
Oh, God.
They didn't already interviewed her family on the Times.
They were being followed by photojournalists. That's why they, Right. Like, what if she was married to one of them? Right. We don't know. And I'm not putting that on that sister. I actually have heard her story since then. But I just thought it was really interesting how people are so quick to draw conclusions looking at a photo and not really having any idea what they're talking about. So, you know, that's just the nature of the beast.
The nature of the internet is to make flash judgments quickly.
Yeah.
And to project onto it your emotions, because otherwise you turn it off and go about your life. But you need emotions to make the box work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I just lose the docket? Oh, hell.
No.
I lost the docket.
Let's find our way back.
We're coming back. All right. So we did Tyler. We did Pepsi. Oh, we got to talk about this story here. Straight out of Maryland, y'all. And y'all, we are talking, like I said, we have a special guest coming on shortly, which we'll get into the deep dive that I know many of you are here for, but we have some news to get through. All right. Dr. Hall in Maryland, Calvert County, Maryland.
Calvert County, Maryland.
A young boy, a teenager, 13 years old.
Oh yeah.
He I don't want to get pinged. He R-worded two
I already
6-year-old
actually used the
girls.
word in the previous rant. So
Okay. Yeah.
assaulted.
Try not to get me kicked off of YouTube, please.
Yes. Working on that monetization. It's more important now
We're
than
working
ever.
on it.
Yeah.
Now than ever, right? I got all these new followers. Maybe I'll make it. But he was found to have sexually violated two 6-year-old girls. And so there was no identity, anything. They didn't say anything. They know no names because obviously these are juveniles and they wanted to protect the girls and the family and all that stuff like that. And the reason why this really made the news is because the verdict on this was for him to receive probation and be sent home with an ankle monitor. And so the original story was suggesting that they didn't know what to do with him because they didn't have the resources and the facilities. They did not want to send him to an adult prison because, and I 100% agree with that. Adult prison is no place for a 13-year-old child. Absolutely not.
Once again, we've leaned on the carceral system for issues like this when we should have developed systems for mental health.
Yes. And I just see people talking about wood chipper and all this. I'm like, okay, guys, this is a 13-year-old. Like, this is horrific, but also this is a 13-year-old. And you all are asking the carceral system to do to him what he did to these girls as punishment because you actually think that rape for rape is actually a good thing.
Yes.
And it's not.
It's just a cycle of violence that perpetuates.
And if you are the kind of person that thinks like that, you're fucked up. I don't actually care what people think about that. It's wrong. Yeah. So then they said, there was something like the juvenile, there weren't options for juvenile incarceration or something like that. Yeah. And then they lamented the lack of resources like ATI, like alternative to incarcerations. Guys, I did my master's thesis on ATIs. They said that they didn't have anything like that for someone like him based on the crimes that he did and all these other things. And so they put him on probation, put an ankle monitor on him, which in one of the threads that I read on Facebook, underneath somebody said he already had been in the system. But I'm not sure. I haven't been able to confirm that because he's a juvenile, right? So of course you can't get access to that stuff, but that's what they said.
Yeah.
And so, but the sentiment has been, oh, he's still walking around the neighborhood. He's still in it. And they sent him to the home where the girls were. So that's where my spidey senses were tingling. Well, why would they be in the same home? So your girl did some digging, and here's what I found out, Dr. Hall. Those are his little sisters.
Dang it. Yeah.
Those are his baby sisters. Twin girls. There's half sisters. Dr. Hall, it gets even more interesting.
More interesting than this?
They share a father.
A father who is
a nigga. White people, if you're new to the show, I use the N-word a lot.
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of assuming it was like some little degenerate Colton or something. Turns out it's a biracial boy born to a black father with two white baby mamas. Special guest with a nodding head. Do you want to join this conversation? Okay, we got a thumbs up.
Habitual line steppers.
Everybody in the chat, welcome one of my bestest friends in the world, Nikki. She's been on the show before. She's a friend of the show. She's always welcome here when she has time. She's here and she's going to help carry us through the second half. But I'm inviting her in to talk about this because, we have Black Girl Missing podcast. we often talk about stuff that happens to Black girls. We talk about sexual violence in Black families and all these kinds of things. But let me finish giving y'all the news of what happened. This was apparently taking place at the grandmother's house, the paternal grandmother's house, at a Black woman's house. And apparently, what is that noise in the background, Nikki? There we go. Okay. I was like, what is that? Apparently, she knew it was happening. She knew her grandson was sexually abusing her granddaughters. She let it happen. She gave the girls gifts and told them to never tell anyone that it's okay, and silenced them with gifts. It happened multiple times. Neither of the mothers knew. But apparently this boy is troubled because his mother was on Facebook saying that she had been trying to get him help for other things. So apparently she realizes she's got a demon child. I'm being facetious
a lot
because
of behavioral difficulties that need.
And part of it is because they daddy can't stay out of jail. Now, Nikki, you watch them shows where these white women be marrying these jail niggas.
I do. I love my trash. I call it trash because that's what it is. It's trash. And we talk a lot about on our podcast. We talk about women who don't make good decisions when it comes to their partners, women who bring men around their small children too soon, women who ignore sexual violence and things like that. A lot of times they were victimized themselves, but it does not excuse you from keeping the children around you safe.
And so I'm getting, I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
There's one thing that comes up sometimes in our comments where people will say things like, oh, well, that's white people shit. No, sexual violence is everybody's shit. Because it literally happens to all of us. And this shows you right here, there's nobody's exempt.
Yeah.
There isn't a shield for you to stay safe. This is crazy.
They saw Maryland, which for me, my first thought was Black because Maryland is so Black, right? But a lot of people assume this was just some crazy white family shit. But in part, it kind of is, because when I start going through these women's Facebook profiles, you know the kind of white women we talking about. The whole family. Now, I don't want to everybody, because they got everybody's all the family members connected. So I'm sitting there clicking through, learning more about each of this family. Such and such brothers weighing in, uncle weighing in, grandpa weighing in, all of them. All the white folks are very upset about this. And I'm getting vibes that, here's what I'm getting. And guys, allegedly, tinfoil hat. Here's what I think is going on. Part of what is going on in this situation. This man, a lot of criminal activity in and out of jail or whatever. The families are not happy that these women have babies by him, but they love the babies, right? They love the twins a little more. The twins are getting a little bit more. So I was very interested in what's going on with that woman. Apparently, she's got a whole family loved, because one of the women came forward and she was like, aunt of the twins here. Wait, actually, y'all, I got media. Let me show you. I'm sitting here talking like I don't have shit to back it up.
Run the tape.
Okay, what am I doing? Aunt of the twins here. Everyone is reporting 6 years old. They just turned 6. It was occurring beforehand. The grandmother on the father's side was aware that it was occurring in her home. The boy's mother tried to get him help, and she convinced him to run away. And because of his age, he can choose to live with his grandmother and remain the sick, twisted individual that he is. The grandmother bought the girls and gifts and swore them to secrecy. The boy's father also has issues and has been locked up multiple times since the age of 13. They live in the same neighborhood. The girls have been conditioned, and we are trying to undo that. They will be in therapy forever because of decisions made. Okay. So this is okay. I think this is the mom, guys. And the reason why is because this lady is her sister. So when I went to her page, this lady is listed as the sister. So I don't know. Could be. They could have multiple sisters. I don't know. But she says here, and he never showed an ounce of remorse through the entire trial. No accountability, had a verbal outburst towards us and the state attorneys all in front of the judge. And this was still his decision. Release him to the very woman, Carla Jacks, that covered this up for months, cleaned the girls up, and threatened and conditioned them not to tell their mom. So the mother never knew. I just don't understand. From the minute we found out, Southern Middle School staff, where he was attending school and went around bragging that he had done this to his little half sisters and threatening another student to do the same to his little sisters. CPS, the Calvert County Sheriff's Department, and the state's attorney office did everything they needed. This was 100% the Honorable Mark Carmine. So everybody's been blaming the judge, saying that the judge was too light, saying because the prosecutors came out and they were like, what the hell? They were upset about it. Everybody involved is upset that he was just given an ankle monitor and told to go home.
Right.
To the same place where the girls were.
Where it was covered up.
Because apparently he left his house. He didn't want to be with his white mama no more. I guess because she was trying to get him some help and probably disciplining him and trying to get him to get some act right. So he said, I'm going to go to the lady that let me do whatever I want to do. Apparently, when the daughters would visit, when the twins would visit grandma, this is when he would do this to them. And their mama had no idea. She thinks, probably trying to be a good white woman, let me make sure that my daughters are connected to their paternal side. Daddy don't always be around, but at least grandma is there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not showing pictures of these kids. I've seen the pictures of them. When I saw them talking, I was like, oh, these are white people. But then I looked, I said, oh, that's some beige babies. I said, oh, no, there's a nigga involved here.
Yeah.
So terrible, sad story.
Terrible story.
And that boy's gonna be dead soon. I'm allegedly.
Well,
because the way these white men talking, I saw one, he's a maintenance worker for the school talking about, don't worry, we got this.
Well, I don't know that he should do that working for the school, but yeah.
Oh, there's a lynch mob forming.
I mean,
real talk. There's a lynch mob forming. I started digging through, and these are all working class people, like lower middle class, people.
I have a question. Well, more of a comment, because now I'm thinking, for white men, they're not ever going to see that little boy as one of them.
That's human.
He's never going to be one of. That's a niche child. That's a black child to them.
And his mama's a race traitor.
Right. So it's fine if they are a lynch mob forming, because that's just one more dead nigga. They're fine with that. They're cool. They don't care how old he is. And they can position it as, you hurt little girls. They may or may not actually care. It's just they want the violence. They need that.
The bloodlust.
They feed off of that. They really do have that bloodlust.
I had seen
and a righteous cause.
I wanted to show y'all this. Okay. This was one of the respondents. This boy is my son's friend, and everyone is failing to understand. He's 13. Kids get curious and sexually interested at the end. He didn't have proper guidance, and is why having a boy and girl is to have separate rooms. So at the end, who failed who? I'm not going to tell my son to stop being his friend, but to never fall in a situation like this, teaching him no means no. And if a girl passed out on the bed somewhere, walk away.
What?
First of all, where are they getting these fantasy scenarios from? Because the idea that there's just always going to be a girl passed out around your son is not real. Because we know that majority of sexual assaults take place with people that we trust, people that we know.
Right.
Whether we are conscious, awake, sleeping, it doesn't fucking matter. But this idea that it's normal or healthy or okay to behave this way and act like child on child sexual assault is not a thing, or to act like that type of abuse is not also very common and hella fucking damaging. People make it all the way to adulthood, not even realizing or remembering that shit took place. Then they're 29 and they have a flashback, and now they're all fucked up.
Right.
What is wrong with these people? Oh my God.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, Dr. Hall.
I think we should acknowledge that sexual assault is a part of every community. And unfortunately, trauma from that is so rampant that it is often hard for people to even think about how the problem, like, you know, to say a story about someone passing out of bed is purely tangential to the situation of two 6-year-olds or just turned 6, 5-year-olds being assaulted by a 13-year-old. Like, we're not even in the same realm of situation or contexts, right? So what are we talking about? But because within communities, mental health and these issues of sexual health not being active discussions, when this happens, communities are often, once again, spinning to sort of, if not justify, then try to sort of find, well, it's such a horrendous problem, we're trying to find a reasonable explanation, which is often, like in that case, kind of a stupid one. Like, what are you even talking about?
Something happened to that boy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, and he did not just learn this anywhere. Something happened
Very
to that
often
boy.
it's learned behavior.
Yeah. And I just think there's a lot more to this story. And I think there's a lot of projection going on, a lot of things like that. I do not agree that a 13-year-old should be sent to an adult prison.
Adult jail. No.
But I think he needs intervention and support. And the probation and the ankle monitor ain't it, especially since he's literally in the same neighborhood as his victims.
Yeah.
And basically walking around like, according to what I've been reading online, they're like, nah, he's still walking around like it ain't nothing. So,
which is weird. It's a weird thing to put the community in that position. Now the community's up to police him. And you know, one of the things I don't know if I've discussed it on the show, but like, I worked for years for an agency called St. Joseph's Orphanage. Like, I worked with children like that in a space where they were removed from home for assault and essentially provided, you know, 3 hots and a cot and treatment. And you know, they do benefit from, you know, good spaces where they can get an intervention. And it, you know, I think it's incumbent on us as a society to once again build these systems so that when these things are happening, people can get the help and support they need.
All right, we got one more story, and actually I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but because I want us to talk about other stuff, but also I just think out of respect for the family, I don't want to do too much with this.
Sure.
Young black man, Nolan Wells,
yes,
was reported missing July 4th. After going to a boat party with his friends and
Horn Island.
Horn Island, Mississippi, and then his body was discovered, and he is not with us anymore.
Yes.
And there's a lot of questions about what happened to him, and a lot of people, just all the questions. Apparently, many of the people that were with him or his so-called friends have decided to not talk,
scrub their social media,
lawyered up, not really saying anything. Of course, they close ranks. That's what white people do. And so now the public has now become CSI.
Yes.
And everybody is digging and trying to figure out, if they could piece things together. And on one hand, given what Nikki and I do, we've seen how sometimes that's more effective than the damn policing. Because listen, we be finding information out that the police did not know, if you dig hard enough, if you know where to look.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, some people are turning it into like content.
Yes.
Some people are turning it into, their time to grandstand and to, kind of self-promote. And we're absolutely not doing that here. I just wanted to send my well wishes to the family as a mother of a Black teen boy who has had to have these conversations. And he did not, is not reacted well to me being like, no, you can't spend the night at this friend's house. No, you can't go to this party with just these people. Who all is going to be there, right? Him not wanting to tell me who's going to be there. Absolutely not. You're not going until you tell me who's going to be there. And I need to know at least one of their parents.
Yeah.
You know, these kinds of things, I've had to have those and face the wrath of a teenager being told no. But I'm like,
but you're thinking in terms of safety and security.
I'm thinking in terms of safety and security. And I was the black girl, a handful of black people in these very white spaces. I know how they are.
Well, yeah, the fly in the milk. You know what it's like out there.
I know the things they say when they think nobody's listening. I know how they want to absorb your black cool and use it for street cred. You know, I know how they think that having a black friend somehow makes them cooler or whatever the situation is.
Right.
And I also know how disposable black
they ain't loyal.
are. Ain't nothing loyal. So I had to have those conversations. But what I don't like that I've been seeing is people being like, well, the parents should have known better than to let their boy be around these people. And Nikki, I know you got something to say. Nikki, I know you got something to say. And we'll keep this all quick, y'all, but we want to get some thoughts in.
When I think back to being a kid, there was a lot of you can't go there, you can't spend a night, you can't do this, you can't do that. Now that I'm in my 40s and I look back, there are so many things that kept me safe because I wasn't in these places. So watching people say, well, he shouldn't have been there, his parents should have known better, you're putting the onus of what happened to him on his family. And I know people, they think they mean well, and they think that what they're saying is protective or that it is, you know, in support of them. And it's not. It's not. It's just like when they ask a girl, well, what were you wearing when something happened to you?
Why were you there so late at night?
Why were you there in the dark? I shouldn't have to fear being in the dark. It's the 2000s, you know? So watching people make these comments about where he should have been and who he should have been with have been incensing. My brother played football when he was in high school. Lots of white friends because lots of white boys play football. We had to have conversations about where you go, making sure somebody always knows where you are, making sure that you leave your phone on. It wasn't if something happens to you, it's going to be your own fault, because we should be able to be friends with whoever we want to be friends with.
Absolutely.
I don't have a whole lot of white friends, but the ones that I do have, I know at the end of the day, they're still white people. They're still white people. They just are. They're still white people. And if something happens, just like y'all said, they close ranks.
Right.
I'm aware of that. There's a lot of, you know, chit chat online about the families of the boys involved and things like that, and who they may be or may not be or whatever. I've seen people say, oh, one of their parents is a judge. That could very well be true. They're going to close ranks immediately. And I feel like my heart hurts for his parents, for his family, because he seemed like a very well-loved child.
Yeah.
He seemed smart, well-adjusted, good kid, you know, and people are like, oh, they were drinking. Let's be fucking serious. Teenagers drink. They just do.
It's like, the summertime, July 4th. Come on.
In Mississippi, they drink.
Summer.
Yeah.
Right. It's the summertime. It's hot out. And they were drinking like goofy shit, like Trulies or whatever. People act like they were turning up. It's like alcoholic water. Like, come on now. So I feel so uncomfortable watching people play ping pong with each other over whose fault it was.
Right.
Somebody's son is not coming home.
That's right.
And people are not like sitting with that. And it's a heavy realization to be like, okay, this has happened yet again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think collectively we are bad at mourning tragedies like this. And, you know, there is a phenomenon in psychology called just world bias, right? The idea that if the world is just and something happens to someone, they must have contributed to their outcome. I mean, we traditionally can also call it victim blaming. And so in this situation, it's, well, why did the parents let him be around those white folks? Why didn't he know better? when in reality, like a tragedy has unfolded. Let's take a minute to be sad about it, to grieve it, and to examine, let the people do what they're supposed to do as far as like investigations, but also just deal with the fact that once again, when this trauma happens and we experience it, we are vicariously experiencing it, and we tell ourselves, well, I wouldn't be in that situation, but you don't know the situation that's coming for you. You never do.
It's a way to defeat the boogeyman, because if we can make it an individual mistake, like you made a bad decision, then we can live without fear that this is something that can happen to us. That's what happens with, rape and things like that. It's like, well, you made these bad choices, so it happened to you, rather than accepting that there's this collective boogeyman that could attack any of us at any time. Yeah. And it's easier for us to do that. The other thing is that this is deeply rooted in the legacy of slavery and the abuses that we have experienced by white people, because we were supposed to have learned by now. Don't get on their bad side. Stay away from them. Don't look them in the eye. Don't get on white people's boats.
Never get on white people's boats.
Because if you do, they're going to harm you. Yeah. And the whole like corporal punishment thing and everything, like Stacey Patton says, beating your child is the whitest thing you could do. And it's like this idea that I'm going to blame you for this thing that the white person did, because if you had just stayed out the way, if you had just shut your mouth, if you had just kept a straight face, if you had just averted your eyes, this wouldn't have happened to you, and you should have known that. And so I think a lot of what people have been saying is coming from that centuries old. You should have known better, because ancestrally, every generation has been taught, stay out of their way, look away, don't upset them, because if you do, you will face their wrath. And so I see that as a manifestation of that, because we know that we are powerless, institutionally powerless against them. So we'd like to think on an individual level, that's the way we can reclaim our power. But here's one thing I'll say, and then we'll go into the other thing, and I'm just going to wrap it up in this way. A lot of people say, and this is actually a conversation that was happening for a few weeks before I even left social media, about being, having your Black child in white spaces, predominantly white spaces, and why that's not a good idea, right? And as somebody whose son was raised in the Bronx and East Harlem and then came to Whitelandia for high school, he's had those different experiences. As somebody who went to boarding school, I've had these experiences, whatever. And this is the thing that I'm going to say. You're more likely, your teenage boy's son, Black son, is more likely to have been shot by another nigga than by one of these white people. I left where I lived in Philadelphia because one day I saw a news report about a young man, early 20s, who got shot on his way to 7-Eleven. We lived across the street from 7-Eleven. My son always ran to 7-Eleven just to grab something or whatever. And all I could see in my head over and over is them reporting about my son being shot on his way to 7-Eleven. And I know that our Black children and our Black teens and our Black adults are exponentially more likely to be killed by each other doing nigga shit than by them. Now, people may not like I'm saying that, but you all know it's the damn truth, and we don't lie on this show. So if
it's 80%, right? Like most violence, 80% is intracommunal. Yeah.
So when you have, and that's with everybody, right? But it's like so if your excuse is that you don't want to, we shouldn't put our kids in these white spaces because of the harms they can face. Why are you putting them in the Black spaces where they are far more likely to face these kinds of violence? You think Black kids don't bully each other? You think they don't sexually assault each other? Like, come on. So there's a negotiation there. And my son raised by this Black power person, he's culturally conscious. Trust me, them honkies didn't get to him. It's all about you. But a lot of y'all don't have that cultural consciousness, and you're not instilling it in your children. So you're letting those white spaces shape your child's cultural self-esteem. And a lot of the people you see growing up, well, my parents, they had me there and, you know, it really messed me up. Your parents should have loved your black ass enough to make sure that you knew from day one that you are fundamentally black and ain't nothing that these crackers could do to you. And you go in there, you do your work and you come back and then we go be black. And not Jack and Jill black, but nigga black.
Oh.
See, I'm sorry.
But a lot of those people also don't want to admit that they value whiteness. They value proximity
Yes, they
to
do.
whiteness.
Yes, they do.
And but they don't want to tell you, oh, I think that that's
Love
better.
it.
I sent my kid there because it's going to be a better school. What makes it better exactly? It's because it's more white people in it.
Now I live somewhere where I ain't even got to lock my car door.
I will say though, as an aside, I miss the chicken wings around the corner from that house.
There was some good wings.
Good food in the hood.
It was a Korean spot.
It was the Korean spot. It was good wings. Their wings were like out of this world.
I'm sure.
Like literally the best wing spot in Philadelphia. I live right around the corner. It's great. No, but guess what? I can cook wings too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of me being an asshole and saying things that people don't like to hear, I have all these receipts loaded because I just want to have a conversation, but then I'm thinking about it. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, guys. Welcome to Political Theater Part 2. I am Dr. T. I'm here with my perpetual co-host, Dr. H, and our special guest, Nikki. Full disclosure, she is one of my best friends. I don't believe in objectivity. I don't believe in having people on here that don't like me. Y'all can kiss my ass. I'm here with my ride or dies. I actually invited another one, but she's actually at a conference because she would have happily been here also to tell y'all to kiss her ass. So here we go. I left social media. You guys saw the video, thousands of views. I left social media, and I'll start this by saying that I got an email from the Philadelphia Inquirer asking me to write an article about why I left social media.
Wow.
Yes.
Big deal.
Weird.
Now, I had to go to my friends and be like, yo, I gave you the look, you know, that emoji is like my favorite emoji. Like, the fuck are y'all doing? Like, what is happening here, right?
Yeah.
And I think that really kind of was the cherry on top of the entire weekend, right? So it's Tuesday. When did this start? Like, what is this, Friday? When did I leave? I think Friday. I don't even know. I don't remember what I left because it doesn't matter. But the cherry on top was a news source that has featured my work in the past. They've done profiles on me, whatever the situation is. Oh, that's right. They did name me one of the top most influential people in Philadelphia, not once, but twice. So I get that. Ask about me. But I thought how ridiculous it was to ask me to write an article about closing my social media accounts. Like, I had to sit with this. I asked my friends, I was like, you know, what is this? Like,
you're the story.
And I was
but
like,
the way I responded to this in the group chat was just about the ways that a lot of times social media, when you're Black and influential and you have a larger following, you are being surveilled. Your work is being scraped. You're the story. You're the, you are the visuals.
Yeah.
And so to come to you after you decide to leave, is that not just further surveilling you?
Yes.
Like, they didn't even think that shit through.
Give us a little bit more. Give us that good. What are you going to take it away?
Oh, because it was I trended higher than Taylor Swift's wedding. Taylor Swift got married and people were just like, yeah, but Jones left social media. She left nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was absolutely insane. And all I kept thinking, and you know this, Nikki, because you were talking with me and Dr. Ho, we chatted a bit. I was just like, why do they care? Now I know why, but on the base level,
because the internet is dead.
Of me being Michelle, right? The people that have known me for years and years and years. Why do you care? And I really had to think about. I think I said to you guys, I was like, wow, I just had a moment where I realized, like, yo, I'm bigger than I thought. which is weird to me because, as I said in my video, I never set out to be this.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But I was just like, wow. I actually, and I'm not even being funny right now, I actually had no idea that this many people even knew who I was or gave a fuck about anything that I had to say or, you know, anything like that.
Yeah.
And so within like an hour of me leaving social media, I happened to, somebody sent me this actually and was like, Feminista Jones exits Meta. And I saw 21,000 posts in an hour.
Yeah, it blew up immediately.
But what 21,000 posts about what? Is this 21,000 people? Is this people making multiple? I was sitting there like, ain't no way. Mind you, I'm at the bar.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is there to say?
What?
People really cared that I left. And of course, it got negative really fast, right? You know,
triggered some emotion.
First of all, shout out to the people that I gotta say this. Shout out to the people who defended me or spoke up for me, or at least added something different to the conversation. Like, Feminista Jones helped me get a job. Feminista Jones gave me money. Feminista Jones helped put food on my table. Like, whatever positive experience. Oh, I met her. She was great. What are you talking about? Like, those were part of the tens of thousands of posts as well. And so I just want to say that I appreciate everybody who said that, because I know I'm a polarizing figure. I know that if you speak up for me, people are going to come for you.
Yeah.
Which is insane in itself. And that is exactly what happened. And or like on my private Facebook, I had some people telling me, I was like, yeah, I said this, and folks were coming at me like I committed some grave danger or like some grave mistake. And it was just like, no, it's because people wanted me to be isolated and out on my own.
Yeah.
And not have support because they wanted to bring about a social death. Like, for them, this was the death of Feminista Jones. And they felt like it was on their terms. They finally got rid of me. Never mind that 2 years ago I posted, said Feminista Jones is dead and I'm pivoting away from this and eventually I'll be leaving.
Yeah.
Never mind that I posted an essay a few months ago like, hey, as of August, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. Never mind all of the threads where I said, I can't wait till I'm done with this shit. I'm only here. Like, I literally just a couple of weeks was like, I'm only here because I have 2 projects to promote that are happening towards, in this summer. And that was the Fire magazine and Take Over Summer School. I said, that's the only reason why I'm here, y'all. Like, I'm trying to promote this and try to get, draw attention to those things. I said this over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So people who knew, they knew I was leaving. But then all of a sudden, all these people who swear they know me so well and have had so many interactions with me somehow didn't know that I was planning my exit. Now,
you know what this reminds me of?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the catfish effect?
Tell me what that is.
It's like an ecological observation of, like, catfish are predatory and they'll feed on a migrating salmon. And it's kind of like the concept. The first time I heard it was when, like, the TV show Catfish, the documentary that sparked the show.
Yeah.
The term catfish came from a man who observed that when you have these migrating salmon, you're migrating from social media saying, I'm ready to go. You have people trying to basically feed on you. And it's like, yeah, we hate your guts. Oh, I can't stand her. I don't like her. She's this and that. But you didn't actually want her to leave because you needed to feed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You needed somebody to talk about. You needed somebody to collect information on, whatever that means for them, which is still weird, but it feels like the catfish effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot
They don't
of sense.
want you here, but they don't want you to leave.
Well, and that was the question that I ended up asking. Like, ultimately, you guys, I said, didn't you want me gone? So if you wanted me gone, if you were so tired of me and seeing me and everything that I said was just nasty and mean or whatever situation is, I'm too divisive, I'm this and this and this, shouldn't you be happy that I'm gone?
Well, shouldn't you be?
And also, should you probably not be writing multiple threads about me leaving? Because you're saying that you don't give a fuck about me, you're saying that you can't stand me and all, but you're sitting here writing about me.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over.
21,000 posts apparently.
That was within an hour. Oh no, this got over hundreds of thousands of.
Yeah, it was trending. Even the bots were in on it. It was weird.
Yeah, like I was just like, what is happening? And it's interesting because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And Nikki, before I get into some of the stuff that I was going to bring up, I mentioned this idea of like people wanting me to be isolated, me not wanting me to have support. And you had some interesting interactions with folks, like kind of coming at you for speaking up for me. Do you want to talk about that at all? You don't have to. I'm just putting you on the spot. You don't have to.
I can. So first of all, let me just preface with, we are friends in real life and have been for a very long time. And people sometimes, I've been called a lot of things. I was called her sidekick, her flunky, her sycophant, like just sycophant is crazy though. Like what? That was a lot. Michelle, are you wearing a silver bonnet?
It's my tinfoil hat.
Yeah, it's a tinfoil.
It's my conspiracy hat.
Yeah.
You're so cute. Okay.
Yeah.
It grabbed me and I was like, what?
For the conspiracy.
I love it.
For the allegedly banners down there.
But one thing I really noticed a lot was people accusing, particularly me and Asa, of being like followers or like following behind you or whatever. And it's like, I'm sorry that y'all don't have friends who will defend you. I'm sorry that y'all don't have that.
Oh.
They were saying that
really what it comes down to.
It was cult-like, and I'm a cult follower, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And it was very interesting to me to see the way that people were talking, because I thought y'all didn't like her. If y'all didn't like her, then let her go. Like, this didn't even have to be a conversation at all. But they couldn't wait to start telling these stories. And it's like, where were these stories yesterday or last week or last month or last year or last decade? Because seeing people come out of the woodworks from 2012, 2013, 2014, who hated you back then.
Years ago.
Like, I got stories about her. I can tell y'all this and that. Like, bitch, that shit happened 10 years ago. Shut your ass up. Don't nobody give a fuck.
And she knows who you are.
She doesn't know who you are. And it's like, the thing about it that people were like, oh, you're just following her, or they kept accusing me of having a parasocial relationship with you. And I get that a lot.
Oh.
But it's because
imagine if people knew me, they'd know who my friends are.
Yeah.
Right?
I love the wall. I love the corner. Yeah. Like, find me somewhere quiet and I'm gonna sit there all day and just chill. So no, you may not know that we're friends in real life, but if you followed anything that FJ does, you're gonna see me somewhere at some point.
All the pictures.
Yeah.
Like somewhere.
Every birthday, I got like a montage. Like,
and so
talking about?
When people started saying that I had a parasocial relationship, I'm like, bro, y'all don't know Purple P79.
Don't. You don't. You niggas don't know Purple Peace. Hold on one second, because I think this is important here. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to put this over here. Hold on. How do I make this? I'm going to put this in the corner and see if I could. Well, they're not going to let me move it. But anyway, I'll cover myself. But I saw this, and it was like the Venn diagram of parasocial and limerence. Because I was like, we need to talk about what a parasocial relationship is.
We do.
One-sided emotional bond with a public figure. Okay. Well, I love you, Nikki.
I love you.
So that's not one-sided.
No.
Feels personal, but it's unilateral. No.
This is pretty personal.
Built through media consumption. No, our friendship has been forged in fire.
Yeah.
Like, we done been through some things. Listen, okay. Often idealized without any real life disappointment. And I thought that that was interesting in terms of how some people treat folks they have parasocial. They don't see the humanity. They don't see when they mess up. And I talked about this on my video. I was like, y'all, I messed up. Like, what do you, like, I've been wrong. And I'm very much a person who will admit to being wrong because I'm not wrong very often. So when I am, I'm just like, fuck, let me own this.
Right.
Let me get better. Because I'm not trying to be that kind of person. Some people cling to being wrong, or they'll double down or what have you. Right. And it's just weird to me. I'm like, I know. And then limerence is obsessive fixation on a loved one in personal life, fueled by intermittent reinforcement, seeking validation from their attention and approval. Now that one there, the seeking validation from their attention and approval. Dr. Hall, I'm actually going to cover you because it's looking weird over here. That I realized, and I realized this a long time ago. And actually, this is what started making me more reclusive. Back in the day, I used to share a lot about myself. I was on Dr. Oz for oversharing. And then I started realizing that people were looking for me to validate things about them. They would ask me, what do you think about this? And kind of waiting for me to give an approval, or I would give my opinion on something. And like people would have these weird reactions like, oh my God, Feminista Jones doesn't, I didn't know, I never saved the thing. I'm sitting here talking to y'all like it's nothing. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, sorry, y'all. Nobody was going to say, hey, we don't see a graphic. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, and like film reviews, music ideas, like whatever it was, people were looking for my opinion to align with theirs so they can feel strong in their opinion. And I started feeling very uncomfortable with that. Because why do you care what I think about this thing? Now I'll take some responsibility and say, okay, yes, in some ways, when it comes to film, for example, I've studied it. I have my, my own kinds of opinions. Some people may look at like my film ideas and be like, well, I can trust her recommendations. But you also may love a film that I hate or hate a film that I love. So who cares?
Yeah.
And I started becoming very uncomfortable with this many years ago and started kind of retreating a bit then, sharing less and less about my personal life. I don't talk about relationships. I don't hardly, and that's also why some people may not know who my friends are, because I don't even really talk much about that anymore. I take trips with my friends. I go all these, and people would never know, because I just started feeling that people were attaching themselves to me a little too much.
Yeah.
I also, and I've said this before, and I need to say it again. I live with agoraphobia. And I know that the movies kind of show frail white women with agoraphobia. And one of the reasons why I do talk about it is because I want to kind of destigmatize it. And I want to show that even someone like me can live with this anxiety disorder. I've had people say, but you're a public speaker. And Beyonce is Sasha Fierce. Okay? Like, there's something that you do when you have to perform this thing where you can tap into stuff that's way deep inside. But people don't see that, I'm going to speak at 6 and I'm in this hotel room. So I got to be ready by 4 because it could take me 2 hours just to get outside the door. I could try to open that door and nope, not happening. They don't see me in the hotel rooms sliding along the walls, trying to make my way to the elevator. They don't see that part of it. When I get downstairs, the handlers will be there, and I'm usually very quiet. My general excuses to people, I was like, I don't want to waste my voice. That's my way to cover that I don't talk. I go, I do what I need to do. If I'm contracted to do a meet and greet, I try to get through that as easy as possible. But if I'm not, as soon as I step off that stage, I'm going back to my hotel room. That's every time. I actually started working it into my contract that you cannot ask me to meet, greet, stay, anything unless you let me know ahead of time and we have contracted for that particular thing. Because that's how I can prepare for that. Mentally prepare. Okay, Michelle, after you do this, you're going to probably have to talk to like 30, 40 people. And they're going to want to shake your hand. They're going to want to hug you. You're going to have to figure out what's your no hug excuse this time, because I don't hug people. They're going to want selfies. You're going to have to take the selfies. Smile in the selfies because they'll post them online. Be as kind as you can, because if you're not, they're going to talk negatively about you.
Yeah.
And they're going to shit on you and call you weird and call you all these things. And she was a bitch to me and she didn't talk to me. She wouldn't take a selfie with me. She wouldn't sign my book.
Yeah.
She had weird energy.
Yeah.
And I noticed people started saying that. They were like, well, I met her at this and she had weird energy. And so people should know that in 2019, I was assaulted by 4 men at my job, which exacerbated my agoraphobia. So anything after 2019, I ain't been right. Like before that, I had, and you can actually see the difference. And I've done this. 2013 to 2019, FJ was in front of all the cameras, red carpets, all of those things. Like I was at the movie premieres, I was at the protests, I was at like everywhere you needed me to be. I was there, I was bubbly and all of that. 2019 on, and I know COVID happened or whatever, but like COVID was amazing for me in the terms, not the people dying, but in the terms of everything went virtual. I could stay in my house. Nikki, shut up. I didn't mean to say it like that. I'm sorry, y'all. But you know what I'm talking about. The quarantine, I should say.
You could broadcast from that room.
I was in my house. I got to do speaking engagements from my house. It was like the best thing ever. Like, because I was so afraid that I wouldn't be able to continue to be a public speaker because of what happened to me. And so when that happened, I was like, okay, that changed things for me. But then we started going back outside, but then Trump came and got rid of all that stuff. So people I actually haven't been out as much in that kind of space. But it's actually gotten worse for me over the years, guys. Like it has. And so I would say probably the last 10 times I've had to go do something, it's been really, really, really hard. And I don't even really talk about it with my friends or whatever. I just kind of like, God damn, that was exceptionally hard for me. And it's like, okay. So to hear people or to read people say, you know, she was cold to me, she had weird energy, there's something, whatever, you know, she didn't really talk to anybody. And I wrote about having agoraphobia many years ago, by the way. So again, if you actually paid attention to me, you would know these things. So it's very hard for me to see people saying that. The same people who be talking about ableism and disability justice and support Black women, protect Black women. Feminista Jones has never been afforded protection on social media. Never once have I been afforded protection on social media. Never once. I have been made masculine. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm fat. I have a boisterous voice. I'm an Aries. I'm a Leo. You know, Leo. So all these things. I've never been allowed to be someone that folks decide should be protected. There's been a lot of kerfuffles over the years. People that literally I've let stay on my couch when they had nowhere else to go wouldn't even speak up for me. People I've gotten jobs when they had no food. People I've done some shady shit to get jobs remain silent.
Allegedly.
People I've given my last dollars to, taken food out of my kitchen cabinet and made bags for, silent. They were silent this time too. And it's not that I do these things to get people to say that, but that's the part that's hard because they don't want to risk their own social death by speaking up and saying FJ doesn't deserve this.
Of course.
And these are people who are connected to these other people that are talking shit, so they know firsthand that all the shit that they're saying is not true. But they're remaining silent. And I thought about this, whether or not I was going to address it, but I am because I don't actually give a fuck. You can't beat my ass. Dr. Hall is tired of me. All right. So let's look at this person. Now, we all know. No, we got to do it. This person that keeps my name in their mouth and I never respond because they're nothing to me. But since you want to, and literally made the whole weekend about me, from what I've heard. The whole weekend was about me. And, you know, Dr. Hall, come on, psychologist. I was talking with Nikki, and I said, there's something else going on there. Like, I don't know if I represent somebody in their life that has harmed them, or if I look like somebody that's harmed them, if they've got a deep mother wound. And Nikki, you and I know that they've had a lot of other stuff, but we don't talk about that stuff because we're not like that, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that this particular statement was interesting. LMFAO, and they were responding to you, right?
Can I set up where this came from?
Oh, please do.
Because I feel like the context matters.
Okay.
So
let me pull that.
What they were doing was responding to, so they wrote a thread about Michelle a few months back. What was that, March? I think it was March.
There were several. Yeah, it was one in March, and then there was one a couple of months before that. And it's been a constant thing.
So there was a woman who was attacking Michelle essentially on threads, and they found this old thread from back in March, and they quoted it and was like, oh, this is interesting or whatever. And so the person in that screenshot there decided to say, oh, I have all of these receipts. I have years of receipts.
I got that receipt. Let me pull that up. I'm gonna pull that up because I got that too.
Okay. I have years of receipts of her being horrible.
Okay.
So what I said was, you're lying. That's a lie. You don't have receipts of her being horrible for years and years. You don't. Yeah. So their response was, and you can go ahead and put your screenshot back up.
Okay, let's go back.
But
so
not that
the other one. Yes.
Right. So this is an example of one of the really horrible things that Michelle supposedly did that makes her a horrible person.
I'm going to read it to everybody. Beloved, she chased me down a year ago at an event as I was actively avoiding her. Okay.
That don't even make sense. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can we rewind the tape 5 minutes to what I just described as my usual experience?
Yeah.
Why would you be chasing anybody down to any?
Well, number one, nigga, do you know who the fuck I am? But anyway, that's part of their issue, right? But when have anybody who has known me, anybody who's ever been around me, what part of me and my personality and my energy suggests that I would chase anybody down? Let's be honest here. Like, we don't even need to play games. We don't need to be funny.
Yeah.
And I know there's people watching like, she ain't chasing them. Because I would never chase anyone down. One,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Two, people flock to me. Let's be honest. But three, if we're cool, then we're cool. We get together. If we're not cool, I don't need to be around you. So and the thing that's interesting is that this person keeps telling this story over and over, and every time they add extra sauce. So every time they tell this story, it's new lies added to it.
Yeah.
And so it's been really interesting to kind of watch this story grow. And I'm just like, part of it grows because I don't respond, but I'm responding now.
Well, there's no new data, so they just keep.
There's no new data, so they keep just reinventing things and adding things. Okay, so that was that
from years ago.
Okay, I was actively avoiding her. Okay, so the truth is that is not true. The truth is this person was setting together. I'm not even going to talk about the type of things. I'm so protective of this person. And here's what I'm going to say to you all. The reason I'm protective of this person is because of what they've been through in their life. Things that I've almost had like front seat access to. And this person is significantly younger than me. And has their own neurodivergence, their own dealings with mental health issues and things like that. It serves no purpose for me to tell their business other than just to say that I know they have been through a lot of things, and the retired social worker counselor in me recognizes this. And so what I'm speaking against, and I want people to be clear about this, what I'm speaking against, and nothing that I'm saying here is untrue. This person has disclosed this stuff. That I'm not calling this person mentally ill. They have talked about this. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm engaging this as an idea, not necessarily the person themselves. because that's not what I want to do here. I fundamentally believe people have the right to dislike me. I get it. I get why a lot of people dislike me. I can be an asshole at times.
Sometimes.
Occasionally. I can be sardonic. I can be sarcastic. I can be condescending as shit. I can. I have a video calling people dumb and telling them to not be dumb near me.
You made it a meme.
One of my most popular memes is me cocking my head and telling people they're stupid.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Let me just say,
yes,
as one of your best friends, I have said many times, I hate how much you call people stupid. I say that.
You do.
I have said that to you.
She has told me that she don't like it.
I've also like you be wild sometimes. Like, hey, you
no, they do.
Yeah.
They don't like when I do it.
That was a little reckless what you did. Yes, I've had to say that.
I'm trying to be better.
Yes.
But y'all making it hard. Y'all making it hard. But anyway, so this particular, they had set up a meeting. So this is a kind of event, and those of you that have been to conferences and things like that, you know that people set up their individual meetups and things like this. This was a lunch meetup that they were setting up, and they spoke to me first. I actively avoid this person and have been for years. So that's what's interesting, is that they took the fact that I actively avoid them, and you'll see receipts showing that in a second, and twisted it into they were avoiding me. So that's when I started thinking about mental health stuff. There's a construction of a narrative that is going on wherein this person is actually taking their behaviors and making them mine.
Projection.
Right. So this person actually came to me and said, we're putting together this lunch based on this particular topic. Do you want to join us? And me being who I am, not trying to rock the boat or whatever, but also very interested in the topic, I was like, sure, let's do it. No problem. Got our food. I was like, where's the table, whatever? Oh, it's over there. We're all over there. Okay. Went over there, sat down. It's a whole table of folks. And some people I knew, some people I didn't. We were all going around introducing ourselves, whatever. And then we start talking about kink. I shared, I was like, I wrote this book. I've done a lot of talking in kink. It's, oh shit, I revealed what it was about. Anyway, oopsie. But if people have questions or whatever, but there were some newbies, they were asking questions. I was answering some questions. And then somebody asked a question about, we were talking about ATRs, African traditional religions. And they were like, do you know anybody in the space that does that? And then I mentioned a person. I said, oh, he is. I know him to do this. And this person's whole demeanor changed. And immediate was like, you're cool with them? And I was like, yeah, I haven't had any issues with them. Oh, that person is a misogynist. That person is why I am not in kink anymore. That person is very patriarchal and an abuser and all the stuff like this. I dated them. They were abusive towards me, and they're the reason why I'm not involved in this anymore. Right in front of my salad. I have no idea about this stuff because I don't give a fuck. I don't be in your business. So I don't pay attention to drama in these different communities. And that's the thing. Nikki will tell you, they be talking about stuff in there. I'll be like, who? What? I'll be clueless as hell. I don't be knowing nothing. I really
we be having to give like full
context. Give full context. They gotta give me background. They gotta give me links because I don't be knowing nothing. They'll be saying things about certain people. I'll be like, who is this? And what am I supposed to know about them? That's kind of how I am, right?
But then I post a link and you tell me I'm blocked. What is this?
So that's what it is. I'm blocked. What did it say? Because they got me blocked. I don't know who this is, but they got me blocked. So anyway, I noticed something there, and I actually felt bad because I was like, okay, this other person is not actually worth me defending like that. I know of them, but that ain't no best friend of mine. So I was like, oh, I said, I've never known them to be like that, but I'm also sorry that you had that experience. And, thank you for sharing. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. And I thought it was done, right? They eventually got up and I was like, okay. And afterwards, somebody like looked at me and was and I don't want to put this on, but basically there was an exchange there. And I was just like, I'm not going to say much more. I'm not necessarily comfortable with this person. I don't know what just happened, but okay. And I was honest. I let the person know I don't really fuck with this person, but they couldn't tell that because there was nothing coming from me that was showing that. Okay. I want us to continue to look at this because it's a very interesting story here. She sat at the table asking everyone if they knew who she was and was upset that they didn't. Okay, that's another lie. I don't ask people if they know who I actively avoid. I hope people don't know who I am. Because I don't go to many spaces and get to just be me. I always have to be FJ. You know one of the worst things that happened to me this year? The goddamn bar and coffee shop found out who I am. Okay? My coffee shop knows who I am. How did I find this out? I went on my cruise and came back, and one of the baristas let it slip, and they said, "How was your cruise?" And I was like, "How'd you know I was on a cruise?" "Oh, I saw you posted it on Instagram."
Wait, what?
How do you? "Oh, yeah, I know who you are. I've been following you for a long time."
Watching me.
I moved out here to get away from that, right? Then I go to
creepy.
the bar, and a follower, I've had followers come up to me at the bar and be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here." And I'm just like, "Can you please just not tell anybody that this is my bar?
Yeah.
Like, this is my watering hole. This is where I go to just whatever." Like, I literally have begged people, please don't say anything to anybody that this is where I hang out. And I've had to do that. So why would I then go around asking everybody, "Do you know who I am?" and being upset that they don't know who I am? You guys know why I was at this conference? First of all, I don't go to conferences if I'm not speaking because of the agoraphobia. I went because one of my mentees from the National Moment of Silence is one of the organizers, and she asked me to do it. I knew they weren't going to pay me much. I knew it was whatever, but it was for the cause. And when my mentees or people that I've inspired or worked with reach out to me, I will lend this to them, even if I'm not really making no money. They paid for my flight to New Orleans. I was like, yeah, I get a couple of days in New Orleans. It'll be good, whatever. I got there. First person I looked for, I knew my friend Leslie was going to be there. There was this big room with all these people. I was overwhelmed. I saw her braids. I can't remember what color they were. And I zoomed right to her. And she'll tell you, I sat right next to her because that was my safe space. Jokina Reed, she's on there, Divesting from Whiteness and the Anti-Blackness Reader. She'll tell you I spent hours with her. We were at the bar talking. We had never met before, but we were talking and stuff like that. When did I have time to be running behind somebody else? And then I was in my room. Aside from that lunch that we had, I was in my room, except for when I had my workshop. One of my homies from college did a workshop. I didn't even go to that. I was in my room because of agoraphobia. So this idea that I'm upset because some people that I'm just meeting don't know who I am, I've been actively trying to not be who I am for some years now. So let's go back to the videotape. She got frustrated when her swag box was smaller than mine because she wasn't on the main stage. What the fuck is a swag box?
You didn't get as much free stuff as she did because she got a bigger bag of stuff.
Guys, my speaker fee is a minimum of 5 figures. I go to conferences all the fucking time. I don't give a goddamn about no swag. Yes, Nikki, you
Can I just say, for the people who don't know you, there's like a bag box drawer situation with all of like the promotional shit you've received from places, and you always give it away.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that like fuck what she talking about or fuck what they talking about, but the idea that you are like, oh, my swag bag isn't big enough. Like, first of all, a lot of times the shit in those bags is bullshit anyway. It's trash. You get rid of most of it. There might be a couple cool things like a pen or something in there. Cool. But like, as a grown person, as a grown parent, as a grown up, you are accusing this woman of being upset that her swag bag was smaller than yours.
Oh,
can we please be fucking for real?
Because I wasn't on a main stage at a conference I didn't even know was happening until a few weeks prior when they asked me to come speak. You guys have been organizing this thing for how long? And I had no idea it existed. So I'm now upset because a box that I got didn't have enough things in it. Are you telling me that you had your swag box out at the lunch table? Comparing, like, are you? Is that what you're saying? That you had your swag box out at the lunch table and was showing what was in it, and I got mad? Is that what you're saying? Because
That's tacky.
You didn't think about that part when you were telling this lie, right?
Act like you've been there before.
Been so right. Okay. One thing about me, baby cakes, my autistic ass doesn't lie. Now, actually, everything that you just said here is a lie. And my Virgo ass always keeps receipts, my love. Be well. Well, you lied. So I want to go back to this one, though, because this is the receipts that they posted. So I want everybody, some people may not understand what this is. There was a group called Poly and Black AF. I want you all to actually look at that logo. I designed the logo, right? And as it says, I want to drop a quick shout out to my co-admin. And now you guys see what my name is. Do not try to add me on Facebook. I will actually block you and probably send arsenic to your house. I designed the logo for that. Oh,
you just touched yourself.
Oh, but I just want to, yeah, no, I did. I just said that, bro. She's fine. This is going to become very important, people. See, now I know y'all came here for the tea, and y'all came here for some shit. And I'm not giving you shit, because the shit you want is you want me to expose this person the way this person has been pretending to expose me. That's not going to happen. But what I am going to do here is I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to speak for myself in my own defense. Since like so many of hundreds of thousands of people that I don't know exist decided to wait until I was gone to say something, that not like I'm actually really gone, because I'm still here on YouTube and I'm on Patreon. And thanks y'all for doubling my Patreon income overnight by y'all being assholes and making me trend higher than Taylor Swift, because now, bitch, I can go back to flying first class to all the places that I want to travel. Thank you. Anyway, I want y'all to see this. The mod team is really excellent. We work hard behind the scenes, blah, 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 blah. I put, and I want you to see what the date was. December 17th, 2020. Remember what Nikki said about people holding on to things for years, right? This was from 2020. Nikki, you and I were in this group. Oh, you're muted.
Yes, we were in this group. We were in this group together. Because we are both Poly and Black AF.
Yes. And I said, now we had a moderator group. We were talking about who we were going to let in or whatever. I invited, I think, one or two of my guy friends to come in. One who is a friend of mine who was exploring this. And I was like, you know what? I actually think this might be a good group for you. And invited him to come in. And I think one other person. If this was 2020.
One of them was G, right?
Yeah, one of them was G. And it was maybe one up. I can't remember who the other person is. But
I remember now.
Yeah. Apparently this has grown into, I invited droves of cisgender heterosexual men into this group. First of all, when I say I hate men, do y'all just not listen?
I mean, they'd have to actually know what you talk about on a regular basis.
When I said you didn't even know droves of men,
yes,
they were like, how would you know?
It's only a parasocial relationship, Nikki. How would you know?
Because I don't know her. I don't know her.
She doesn't even go here.
So what the receipt that they're showing there, and it's kind of cut up. I said, hey, folks, I'm stepping down as admin of this group. I don't think I'm in alignment with the overarching goals. Nor do I think this community space I need to have any leadership in. Correct. I didn't want to be there anymore. They were on some bullshit. And this idea, this narrative that they all voted to get rid of me and asked me to leave is absolutely not true. I chose to leave because I did not like them anymore.
It was like Survivor.
It was too much drama, too much bullshit, and I was not interested in it. I wrote something like, I'm sorry for any harm I've caused to anyone. Oh no, that's me being diplomatic. That was me being diplomatic. Like, because some people don't like the way that I talk or whatever. So I was like, I'm sorry for any harm I've caused people. I didn't mean that shit because I ain't do nothing. So this is the receipt. Go ahead.
I stayed in that group because you were in that group. But one thing that used to irritate me, and I was like ready to leave, was every single time a subject would be proposed and we would start discussing it or whatever, that person would come in and just shit in everybody's Cheerios.
Yeah.
Like just suck the fun out of every fucking thing.
Yeah.
And so the idea that you were like voted off the island or whatever, Bitch, don't nobody want to be in this musty ass room any fucking way.
And that's really what it was. Because I was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't know what's going on. And I didn't want my name and my reputation within these communities to be associated with it. And this was also around the time where they really started posting a lot of erratic things online that were drawing a lot of like, you know, stuff. But also remember, they were going through that stuff that they were going through. So I knew there was something there. I didn't want to get hit in the crossfire. So I was like, yeah, I'm out of here, whatever the situation is. Yeah. Cool. But I just want to remind everybody that was 2020, right? And this is what the person is now citing as the harm that I've caused, that I've been harmful for years. And they have plenty of receipts of how harmful I've been to them, and that I've been abusive, and that I'm just an overall horrible person, except they came begging me for help. They came to me begging for help. And so here we go. And I'm not doxing this person. That already happened mistakenly at some point. Shit happens, or whatever. I want y'all to peep this. Hold on 1 second.
Also, we might be overusing the word dox, but sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I want y'all to peep this. February 11th, 2024. This was me responding because I had been invited to speak. Actually, let me give you the whole one because I think I got the whole one here. I think that yes. Okay. So this was okay. Here we go. April 10th. Let me try to move this over. Oop,
this is after your great harm of leaving the Facebook group.
This is, but actually, wait, what just happened here? Cancel. All right. So my job, the other thing said December of 2020. This is April of 2024. Hi, dear. It looks like the event with Sisters Uptown will be on Thursday, 6/27 at 6. Does that work for you? Thanks for letting me know. Thursdays are tough for me going back and forth to NYC. Not gonna lie. I'd have to take the train since it's the evening and I can't spend the night because the kiddo will be in camp and needs to be dropped off at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm sorry. Then she said, they said, totally understand. Let me move the allegedly banner because I'm actually speaking the truth right now. Totally understand. We will find something that works, sis. Guys, this is the second request for me to be on there. Hold on. Where's the other one? Because I had one where I cut out. Hold on. I had one where I had the email where I had to cut out their address or whatever.
Cut out the docs.
Cut out the doxed part. And I don't want to mistakenly do it here. See, because I'm affording this person way more care than they've ever afforded me in anything that they've done.
Not the doxing of a public figure, but okay.
Right. They were upset because these screenshots had gotten posted with their phone number, which can easily be found online. I don't have it here, but anyway, the person had reached out to me in February asking me to do a book talk with them. And my response, because I did not want to do it, was that I would have to be in Baltimore, which was actually true. So it kind of worked out. I didn't have to lie, but I was leaning into that because here's the thing. Anybody else had have asked me, I'd have switched my plans around. Because one thing I am going to do is if you come into me and you asking me to come do something to help you support your work, especially in this Black feminist space, I'm going to do it because we all need to get on and we all need to be put on. So if me lending my name to this can help, then I do it. And you guys have seen me in book talks with people. I just did one with Jamila Mew, right? You know, like I do those kinds of things. I did one with Renee Sherman on her abortion book. Like these are the things that I'll do. You ask me, you come to Philly, ask me. I got you. But I was like, I didn't want to do this. And so I was like, I'm not available. So that's what this one was. I'm so honored to be invited. Unfortunately, I'm in Baltimore that day. Is this date set in stone? I'm available 3/24. I was still willing to try to see if I can do it. I knew I didn't want to, but I was still willing to do it. Because at this point, I don't think they have any issue with me. I'm gonna be honest. I thought that I knew that I didn't like them, but I didn't know that they had any beef with me. So when that one didn't happen, and then we come back in April, now mind you, that was February, they come back 2 months later, it looks like the event will be on 6/27. Does that work for you? and I said, you know, whatever, I'm not going back and forth to NYC. Yeah, I do that shit all the time. People will get me a train ticket. I will hop right on the Amtrak. It's only an hour and 20 minutes away. I will hop on the Amtrak, go to New York, do an event, and come back home. Like, it ain't nothing. I didn't want to do it. So I did not do it. Now, I just want the record to show that that's 2 times that this person came to ask me to do a book talk for their very late book on Black feminism and asked me to come and support them. Now, if I had caused so much harm for so many years, and you will supposedly have all these receipts, because what I haven't done is go through the chats that we have on Facebook Messenger that I actually still have. And when you first came and talked about me, you said you had me blocked everywhere. I was not blocked anywhere. In fact, I was still in that group. There was like it was like a Black feminist group. There's a Black feminist book club or something. I was still in that group. I was not blocked. I was not removed. When I went on TikTok, I was still able to see them on TikTok. I had not been blocked anywhere. So they already started telling everybody they blocked me everywhere. No. I saw you saying that I'm blocked everywhere because I'm not blocked here, right? So then the next time they talked about me, they said that I'm a fake professor and that I am only nice to people because I'm trying to sell my books. Now, again, remember what I said earlier about how I think they taking their stuff and making it mine, right? This is 2026. My book came out in 2019. I already sold over 10,000 copies. Once you hit 10,000 copies on a nonfiction book, on a nonfiction book like that one, you don't care. I give the book away. Anybody want it? Matter of fact, I'm sure I got copies around here somewhere. You guys subscribe to the Patreon. You guys know I hand it away because I don't care. So the idea that this person was telling the world that I'm a fake professor and that my book was mid. Come on now. I got more citations than you, and you've been in academia all this time. But then you said that I was doing all this just to sell books when I have 4. A book that came out 7 years ago. I just want to ask the chat, like, does any of this make sense to anyone? Does this make sense to anyone? It can't make sense.
Yeah.
I did. Yes. That's how we met. You became part of the Women's Freedom Conference. Remember we did that, nigga? It was a whole big thing. We did it. But none of this makes sense, right? So if I've been so harmful to you all these years and you've got all these receipts of all this harm that I've done and I've been abusive towards you and all these things, why did you ask me to come do the book talk with you? Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not asking an abuser to come do a book talk. I'm not calling them dear. I'm not calling them sis. And I'm not following up after the first time they said no. But here's the thing. They are loud and wrong, and people flock to them and absorb everything that they're saying as though it is fact. How do you say I'm a fake professor? There's literally video. My university featured me on their Instagram as I'm teaching to my students. What are you talking about? And that's the thing, is that if I was a different person, I'd end them. But I pity them because something is going on and my heart actually breaks for them because I have become some kind of figure to them. And I want to go back to that thing where they said she fine. I'm going to let that linger because I don't even need to get into the details of that. Y'all could pick up what the hell I'm putting down. So here I am rejecting you. All those years later, still rejecting you. And that is where that scorn comes from. And I just want to make that clear to people that everything you've read about me from this person has been a complete lie. And it's scary because when people lie like that about somebody, when people are that obsessed with someone, when people repeatedly talk about someone who isn't thinking about them, when they go so publicly willing to risk their own reputation and job to lie and commit libel, right? It's something deeper there. I would never. Dr. Hall, I know you wouldn't. Nikki, I know you wouldn't. That's just not who we are. But this is getting late and I got a couple more things I just want to address on this matter. I had to address that because it's been so long that this person has just randomly been taking shots at me online. And you all know the only response I've ever been like is like, yeah, something snarky like, I bet Jen Jackson, PhD, wants me to die, or, you know, something like that. But I've never exposed them. I've never put their business on Front Street. I've never talked about anything that has gone on in their lives that I happen to know deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I've left it alone because they obviously need me. Like you said, the catfish thing, if you go and look at their feeds, the most engagement they have gotten over the last couple of years has been when they've talked about me.
Mm.
That's gotta suck. It's gotta suck that the most attention you get is talking about this person that you have such scorn for, to the point where you're willing to make up egregious lies, libelous lies, risk lawsuits, risk losing your job, risk losing the ability to provide for your family, just to say these things. But that's okay. We got a couple more because this is what's interesting. At least I know that person.
Mm-hmm.
At least I know that person. Now, so people are asking, like, what started all of this, right? Well, what started all of this was a post I made 2 years ago that said Feminista Jones is dead. That's that. Hold on one second. Let me put this over here in the corner. That's what started it. Then it was followed up by me constantly saying I'm ready to go, right? So then I saw this. Now you all know, and if you follow me, you know people say like really stupid shit about Black history, and I'll usually respond and be like, this is not correct. This is wrong. Like, this is not true. This is whatever. So I saw this. It said, also, Harriet Tubman didn't free all the slaves. She freed the ones who wanted to be free. Now, I saw that before I saw the Harriet Tubman wasn't even her real name. And I was like, what? Why would you say that? Slaves didn't want to be free. And I don't like using that word slaves, which I already knew was an issue. But, you know, she freed the ones who wanted to be free. And I had an issue with that because, you know, again, hi guys, I'm a historian of African American history. Like, this is not true.
From people get history wrong.
Right. That idea that there were people who didn't want to be free, or that Harriet offered freedom to everybody, and then some people were just like, no, I don't want to be free, I'm good, doesn't take African American history into consideration. So I went to their page, saw their website, saw that they were this HR person building this business of their own or whatever. I'm scrolling through their stuff. Most of their stuff is not related to any of this. I was like, oh, this person is just saying outlandish things to try to get attention like so many other people, which leads to me calling this person a grifter, because that's what a grifter does. They post these rage baity type things to get attention and get people to come and see what they're talking about. And that's exactly what that person was doing that day. And I recognized it and I stopped engaging because I was just like, oh, you're a grifter. Got it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But then I also saw that one with the guy saying this thing like Harriet Tubman wasn't even her real name, to which I responded and corrected. I said it was Airman to, you know, Ross Harriet Tubman, and explain where that came from, et cetera, et cetera. That whole thread where people responding to it was just full of ignorance. And I was just sitting there like, oh no, I can't do this anymore, right? I was like, okay. I think I thought to myself, my exit can't come any sooner.
And then it came sooner.
And then it came sooner because I called the person a grifter, and then they responded, which they deleted, right? They responded with a threat. But they were going to take care of me. Now, sister of mine. In what world does a person think they can threaten me?
It becomes a whole thing.
It becomes a whole thing. So what did I do, chat? I posted a picture of me with a whole bunch of guns. They started deleting shit real quick. It's all that talk. I was like, you gonna threaten me like that? And I actually, that was the thing. I was in a space already, and I was like, did you just threaten me? Like literally threaten me and talk about how you don't ever let anything go and you're gonna ruin me? For what?
And she specifically said that you were going to regret this.
Yes.
And when someone asked, in the real world, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah.
And she said, only time will tell.
That did it for me. I said,
girl, who the fuck is you talking to?
And I think the person said, I hope you stay safe or something like that.
Yeah.
They were like, stay safe. Because again, you know,
what are we talking about?
But also, y'all only know a fraction of me. You don't know that side of me. You don't know that side of me that was raised deeply in these streets. You don't know that about me. As much as I talk about having all these guns too, it's like interesting that people they think I'm lying. I've brandished guns on this feed before. Like, what I did. Like, you did. I did. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and so that's when the deletions started, right? But then, they were riding this like everybody else was riding it. Everybody wanted to type my name, so whatever they posted would get seen and all this other stuff. And then what did they eventually say? Hold on. Wait, guys, I have it because I have all the screenshots. I'm ready. Like I was ready. Where's the one that was the line? I got okay. No, that wasn't. I just showed that one, right? Was it this one? No, that wasn't it. God damn. Did it not? Oh, I may have lost it. But anyway, no, it was one basically where the person was basically. Oh, here it is. I got it.
Got it.
I had nothing to do with that lady's pages getting deleted. Playing on my name is never a good idea. I'm well respected and well known. I've helped countless people change their lives. I am in deep community. I do right by people and mind my business. God don't like ugly, but I do hope she's okay. Let us all remember what happened today and what was said and who said it. And I will be keeping receipts. First of all, I realized that people were going after her, being probably like, you made her leave and you threatened her. And you did threaten me. That's why you ended up deleting that post, because you did threaten me. And you realize maybe a little too late that you probably shouldn't have done that. If somebody calls you a grifter and then you're going to threaten them, you're not ready for this business, right? But I guess people were coming at her or whatever, and you ran her off or whatever. And then this whole narrative that I got run off of things, or I was bullied off of it. And I appreciate Kevin. He was in the chat early. I don't know if he's still there, but he said, I don't like this narrative that FemJones was bullied off of social media. She'll drag you all for filth. And I have been. Like, I do. That's why you don't like me now. Good well I don't run from nothing.
Right.
I cut you out for saying something stupid to me, let alone a threat.
Frequently.
And then and he shared the video where I was, reminding people, I told you I was already going to do this. But it's interesting that it became this whole thing that I left because I got, threatened. No, I left because I realized just how stupid all of this. I mean, it really just finally. And then I, you guys don't like astrology, but with an Aries, it usually is just that one thing. Like we'll go, that one thing, and we'll be like, all right, it's a wrap. And then people have been saying, oh, she'll be back. No, again, Aries, it's a wrap. It's done. But also don't have to go back. See, and this is the thing. A lot of the conversation that happened after this comes from a place of envy. How dare she leave us here? How dare she leave? Have her own platform and spaces to go to where she will still get legitimate support. And I'm sitting here still struggling, trying to get followers and trying to get likes and views and things like that. How dare she leave when she has all of that power, all of that influence, all of that stuff? How dare she leave us here in this mess? Does she think she's too good for this?
You think you're better than us?
Do you think you're better than us?
I think you're better than me.
Think you're better than me. And I think that that's what started happening So let's go to the videotape. Okay. Because, oh my God, you niggas are dumb. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Wait, no, that's not even the first one that she did. Okay. So I totally understand why Feminista Jones pieced out from social media, blah, 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 blah. This person, Mrs. Juliana MSW, she should have taken her biased, miserable energy to Substack where she could have been paid. Now, if you knew anything about me, you know that I did have a Substack and I left Substack because they platform Nazis. But then you'd also know that I've had a Patreon account for about a decade now in which I've been getting paid. Okay. So again, you don't know anything about me. She's a harmful voice. She got in her own way. Good riddance. But then we get this moment of introspection. Hold on. Feminista Jones on Threads, can't stand her ass. Feminista Jones on YouTube, wow, she's a human being. I understand she really is a scholar and she's right. Nikki, help me sing.
You know what drove me nuts about some of these posts is that these people supposedly couldn't stand you. Oh, I couldn't stand her on here. So why are you talking about her now?
Right.
Pretend she don't exist.
She says,
but
now
like
this
lady kept going back and forth.
No,
like,
for days. Like, she's like, now I'm trying to assess why I see her this way, but from a social work lens.
Okay. She became a social worker because she needed one. That's clear here.
Threads reward short, emotionally charged statements. Nuance often gets lost. You may have been reacted to isolated posts without hearing her full reasoning. This is her talking to herself, by the way. On YouTube, she has time to explain premises, acknowledge complexity, and tell stories, which can make someone seem more reasonable. You mean like every week when I'm on this show?
Yeah, it'd have to be.
I mean, all the videos that I've made, all the speeches I've given, all you got to do is type my name on YouTube and you'll see me all across the country talking and sharing who I am. You'll see all the interviews that I've been in. If you actually go to any of your favorite streaming things and you type my name in, you'll see all the podcasts that I've appeared on. Might give you a sense of who I am, right? Social media encourages people to develop strong impressions from very little information. A series of provocative posts can create a simplified mental model. She's always angry compared to a long-form video reveals a fuller personality. A sentence that feels inflammatory on its own can land differently when you hear the surrounding context. She's literally working this out in her head, okay? She's like really going through this in her head, okay? Yeah. So then she says, let me move this one over a little bit. Let me just move this to the side. Sorry, y'all. I want to make sure that we're not getting in the way. So now there's more posts. Watching her on Threads. Now she's tagging me. Watching her on Threads, she reminded me of Gen X Black woman colleague or supervisor who makes work feel psychologically exhausting. Okay. All right. The type that seems more focused on enforcing hierarchy than building people up. No one I've supervised would ever say that. They all love me. Anyway, ironically, the same communication style may be what keeps her from reaching the very people she wants to influence. I traveled to South Africa. I've traveled to Paris. I've traveled to Abu Dhabi. I've traveled to Grenada. I've traveled to all these places, Cuba. Everywhere I've gone, there's been somebody there willing to let me stay with them. So what influence,
people like you?
What influence are you talking that I'm trying to have? See, part of the issue is a lot of people came to me later and don't realize who I am. Remember that one child, I don't even feel like talking about her because she's in a fight with Boots right now and she's obsessed about that. But remember how she said that I built my Threads following by talking about the Chris Brown lawsuit, which is categorically false. And I know there's people watching this right now that follow that person and didn't bother to check her or correct her, but trust that I see you for who you are. And I don't really trust you in the same ways that maybe I once did because I understand your own spinelessness. But you let that woman sit there and say that I built my Threads following by talking about a case that I could not publicly discuss. And none of you checked her. Okay? That's the shit I'm talking about. This is what I was like really starting to get to me. I'm like, yo, all of y'all are full of shit. You fucking phony. But it's okay. Now, she's going on and on. Now it says, now we've got, so we got to go to the next one. It's officially day 2. Let's move this one too, because I want to make sure that people can see my folks. It's officially day 2 of her leaving Meta. Guys, Why are you counting the days since I've left? If you support FJ's behavior, show yourselves. We'll block you too. Who is we? She has a cult following. For those of us she made inflammatory or degrading statements about, we don't want to see her followers praising her. That praise is part of her legacy. Shame, disrespect, insufferable dismissiveness, inflammatory bias. It's important for her, for other graduate students to know which schools support her. Can I just say something, guys? I have no idea who this is.
Are you sure you guys don't have history at all?
I'm not trying to be an asshole at all. I have absolutely no idea who this person is. I don't remember ever talking to them. I don't remember ever having any interactions with them. And yet they believe that I've degraded them. The way we can see how you treat your colleagues, your community, and your students and decide who we want in our professional circles, especially those of you with for-profit degrees. What does that even have to do anything? Oh, yeah, because I'm always talking about
you do be going after for-profit degrees.
Oh,
you know what this looks like, though?
What?
This is somebody who had a for-profit degree.
Yeah, and probably got
probably got a for-profit MSW.
Yeah.
And this feels like a digital degradation ceremony where she is trying to make you trying to make you feel or make you seem like you are inferior, you are small and less than and not worthy of whatever attention you were getting after she was forced to work this shit out in her own mind the day before.
Yeah, because she was working through this.
Yeah.
And then she was like, wow, she's a human being. So I don't know who this is, but I really was trying to figure out what was going on. Hold on. Okay. Then there's this person. I don't know who this is either. Again, guys, I'm not saying this to be a jerk or to be dismissive. I do not know who this person is. Okay.
They know you.
I'm ready for her to take a break. I won't miss her. Every interaction I've had online with her since first interacted with her on Twitter in the 2010s has been negative. She convinced herself she's the only person that knows how to read, that everyone is her enemy, and that she's the only person who reads social theory and the history of marginalized groups. In fact, she's likely blocked now. A break is going to be a good thing for her. She needs to hire a social media manager.
There you go.
Guys, I don't know who this is. Then there's another post. It says, I may go check out her YouTube then. I be playing online, but I've learned very much to block people who are actually antagonistic to me. Otherwise, you get more people like that in your algorithm, and it's hard to see people who are not coming to antagonism. She really deserves to have a social media manager, and she needs one. But then there's this. Okay. This was odd. It's wild because I've actually read her work, but every time I messaged her because there was a typo in her tweets or threads, I'm going to read that again. But every time I messaged her because there was a typo in her tweets or threads, likely because of autocorrect, her response was always basically, you're illiterate, why can't you read? Again, chat, I have no idea who this is.
Oh, wait. Why would you message somebody because they have a typo? Like, why would you feel comfortable messaging somebody privately to say you spelled something wrong? Girl, go to hell.
When I went to one of the most selective schools in America where my courses were in philosophy, English literature, ethnic studies, feminist study, queer studies, and theater. Oh, that was a lot of studying. Yeah. Online has made her more and more toxic. So I don't know who you are.
What did the limerence say? What did the limerence bubble say?
Oh,
seeking validation.
Yeah, from their attention or approval.
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is. If this person ever messaged me about typos, I don't remember, or I don't know. I don't know what are you talking about? I don't know this. But you're telling the world that you were messaging me about typos, and then y'all got a nerve to ask me why I left?
And those messages likely ended up in like your
spam
hidden...
or something or whatever. Or if I respond, like, I probably say, shut the fuck up, you dumb illiterate bitch. I probably said that because why the fuck would you be sending me a message about some goddamn typos? Yes, you want to talk about mean. So we're talking about the politics of meanness. This is what this is all about, right? And I know it's getting late, Dr. Hall. I know you got to go. Nikki's already at home. She's comfortable. I know you got to go. Everybody say bye to Dr. Hall. He's got to go. He's got to go get some food. He's fading over there. We really appreciate you. Okay, goodbye. We're talking about the politics of meanness, and we're talking about this way that people have constructed this idea of me being a mean person. Like I said in my videos, like a lot of times you guys see my reactions, but you don't see what led to it, right? Or I've talked down to you. Yeah, there's a good chance that I did that. Or one of the things I started doing to kind of set my own boundaries is somebody would say something stupid to me, and I would respond and say, you're not smart enough to be in conversation with me. And then I would make sure that they couldn't respond to that. Most of the times they'll go back and find another post to respond to, but people had obviously a negative reaction to me telling them that they're not smart enough to be in conversation with me. Yeah, I can understand why that might upset some people, right? Because who wants to be told that they're not smart enough to talk to somebody? But you're not, though.
We live in a participation trophy society.
And I'm glad that you said that, because one of the things I wanted to point out, you and I are both over 40. We're exennials. We grew up in a very different time. Most of the complaints are coming from the younger millennials and Gen Z types, the marshmallow generation, the baby on board generation, the groups, the ones that grew up when their parents putting bumpers on the corners of the tables. Their parents wouldn't let them touch dust mites. They don't have skinned knees because they weren't allowed to play out on the hot asphalt. They're coming from a whole different generation, the trigger warning generation, right? We were reading
Flowers in the Attic. Value me.
Yeah. We were reading Flowers in the Attic with all that incest. It wasn't a trigger warning in sight, okay? Okay, like, right.
Why was I reading that? I was
because we were deviant children. We were latchkey kids. We were left alone a lot. But there's definitely a generational divide. And so, people were sending me all kind of stuff. They were sending me screenshots of like, I can't believe they said this. And I had to tell people, stop sending me, so I don't want to see this. But what I was seeing was a lot of whining. I think you made a post that was like, that's where I got that one. You were like, you guys are so whiny.
Yeah.
It was so whiny and so, oh my God, she's harming me. She's abusing me. And I'm surviving feminist jail. Oh my God. And 15 years ago, she saw me dancing with somebody and she made her friends not like me. I don't even know who the fuck this was, but it's okay. I saw somebody said that I was in my late 30s dating someone 25. That did not happen. I know who they're talking about, but that, again, changing the story to make it look like I'm some kind of like wild predator is kind of crazy, right? Like, as much as people know I'm against major age gaps, why would you then go and say I was in my late 30s dating someone who was 25? Again, you've already nullified whatever legitimate beef you might have had with me, but also it's over a decade ago. So at what point did you decide that you were not going to let that go? And so one of the things you and I talk about a lot is that because we were in Black Twitter, we were in all these things like that, is how some people just have not grown from those spaces. They have not moved beyond whatever that was.
Many of them, as a matter of fact, have not only have they not grown out of that, but they have just grown into learning how to be terrible in a like more effective way. And I wrote a post on Threads, I think it was today or yesterday, where I talked about some of these people from like old social media from 10, 15 years ago. Many of them they have learned how to manipulate their audience. They know who they need to collect. They need one or two influencers. They need a couple of the older women. They need a couple of the younger Johns. They need, they need a good array. They need somebody from Nobodyville who nobody knows that they create a parasocial connection with. That way it creates plausible deniability when it is time for them to have their comeuppance for whatever new scam they have or new lie they have or new whatever. And so when you have these sort of it's almost like a digital tribe kind of and you have this sort of, it's like an in-group signaling of sorts. It really is. It reminds me so much of the movie Mean Girls. And it's like calling them that is just so right on point, because watching this happen to you now felt like we were in 2009 Twitter.
Yeah.
And when people were saying like, oh, you're just a follower, you're this and that. And I'm like, bro, when I met this lady, it was like 2008, 2009. And we bonded over it was like the
music date night. Remember the kids would do date night? We used to have the music stuff.
Yeah. It was like the music part of Twitter where everybody was literally just chatting shit about music. And it was so fun. Spotify had came out. We were building playlists and sharing. And it was great. It was fantastic. And then, when we met in person, we just clicked. And I'm like, we got pictures from back then. So all of this shit about
I think our first picture might have been in New York at one of Kia's events. I think
at Drum.
At Drum, because you had I think you had your hair was straightened or something. It was short.
Yeah. It was at Drum. I think I remember that now.
He was a young tenderoni. He was out there.
But see how little these people have changed. Because, and I say this as a reformed mean girl, I was mean as fuck.
Me too.
I was young. I was unmedicated for my PTSD. I had a lot of shit with me, and I have grown from a lot of that. And while I'm not a mean girl anymore, I also am not walking around trying to people please everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that there's almost this blurring of that line where you have these women, sometimes men too, who are mean on social media, and they're waiting to pounce on somebody because they have ingratiated themselves to the audience. Yes. So now they've built an audience of, well, we all hate her. We can't stand her. I don't like her. Da, 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 da. Oh, my so-and-so told me that she's really this and that, and she knows her from way back in the day. Just because she knew her screen name back in the day doesn't mean she knew her. Doesn't mean she knows her at all.
Also, it's very easy for people to say, I met her one time, because I've been all around the world. I've been all around the country. I've been around the world as a public speaker. I've spoken in many audiences. I've done all kinds of book talks for my own stuff, for other people's stuff. It's very easy for someone to say, yeah, I met her one time when they never met me. Okay.
And they can say anything. Oh, I met her and she was nasty to me.
They can say anything.
Know that that's true.
And remember when that conversation about Toni Morrison came up, and they were talking about, that one person was talking about, well, I met her and she wasn't nice to me, but I guess, whatever, it's okay because it was Toni Morrison. And it led to this whole it led to this whole conversation about, do Black women have to be nice to people? So once again, I'm going to go back to what I said early in the show. Feminista Jones has never been afforded the protection that people claim they give to Black women. The grace that is extended to Black women has never been extended to me. So you all can go on and defend Toni Morrison being mean. Not saying that I'm on Toni Morrison's level. I mean, the New York Public Library did feature our books next to each other and talk about great writers that you should read for Women's History Month. But I'm not saying that I'm on Toni Morrison's level. I'm just saying I got closer to her than you have. But anyway, so it's okay for her to be mean to people, but not me.
You know what frustrates me about that? And this is not just because you're my friend. This is if you were just a random woman on the street. Is how come the same groups of people who talk about Black women needing to be protected and left alone and not bothered for things. Well, how come they can't extend that to you? I don't have to like you for me to feel like you should be safe. I don't have to like you to feel like you should be able to move through the world however the fuck you want to. You can be a curmudgeon-y bitch if you want to. That's your fucking business. And if you are walking around the United States of America as a Black woman in a Black woman's body, is life not hard enough? Do you expect me to really fucking be pleasant all the fucking time? Just walking outside is a headache. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna have to face. I have no idea. Once I get on a phone call at work, I gotta be bubbles. Like I'm not a bubbly ass person. What the fuck?
Yeah, and but okay, so I'm glad you used the word bubbly, because you notice that this whole whimsical Black girl, bubbly Black girl conversation has been, becoming popular and has entered the zeitgeist. And it's interesting because, again, trad wife, femininity, all of that stuff is coming back to the main stage. The support for trans people is declining. This is all connected. And so there's this idea, fit feminine and what was it? Fit feminine and friendly, right?
Yeah.
The podcast, the red pill content, and what women are supposed to be, what femininity is, all of this stuff is all happening at the same time. And we're seeing a lot of women, particularly younger women, reverting back to these things that we as feminists have fought against for decades, right? And that's easily slipping back. Look at how many sisters are going back to relaxing their hair to make it straight again and go back to these kinds of Eurocentric standards of beauty, and just kind of, what does it mean to be feminine, right? And it takes me back to Tatiana's movement, Stop Telling Women to Smile, which takes me back to you, okay, sis, and street harassment. This idea that women are supposed to present as pleasant in society to make other people feel better, that you should have a smile on your face. You're not allowed to be upset or sad or whatever. And if a man wants to look around, he should be able to see smiling women, because that is what feminine pleasantries are. And so a lot of this discourse about she's mean, she's not nice, and things like that, again, is making me masculine. It's defeminizing me. It is stripping me of womanhood that they don't believe I should have, because that would compel them to actually protect me. And so I will never cater to that niceness. First of all, like I said, I'm from New York. We are kind people. We are generous people. We ain't necessarily known for being nice. You go down to the South, y'all niggas is nice, but a lot of y'all niggas ain't kind or nothing. You nice nasty. Okay, I know that nice nasty Southern charm shit. I've dealt with it, right? And a lot of people, because the majority of Black people are in the South, a lot of times when they're confronted with Northern Black folks and the kinds of ways that we present because of how we've been raised, they've called me, the women, they too harsh. They always want to call us men. They want to talk about, if you get to a Philly woman, you gay. If you get, dating a New York woman is like dating a nigga. Like, they say this shit all the time. And we get that. They cuss too much. They don't smile enough. They always got a mean face, whatever. You try living in a city that is like a 22-mile square radius and has 8 million people in it, and tell me how much smiling you gonna fucking do, right? Yeah. But anyway, we're just different. And a lot of that is people like wanting me to be more pleasant to them to fit into their ideas of what a woman is supposed to be. Yeah. And that shit ain't gonna ever happen. First of all, I've been telling y'all I don't like this idea of woman anyway. I've been like really battling with that for the last couple of years too. Yeah. But also, what the fuck does that even mean?
Right. And it's there's something that I notice that happens particularly with you, women who are taller, women who have a larger body, women who are darker than a paper bag, women with short hair, kinky, coily hair, hair that's always going to be tighter than mine, that kind of thing. Yes, exactly. The attention economy in which we live in social media, really rewards cruelty to anybody who fits those descriptions.
Yes.
And I've noticed, and I think we've talked about this in our group chat before, but there's like a resurgence. Now people can see why we're friends. I don't talk a whole lot, but
it's like you're light, I'm in the middle, Ace is darker. Like, we cover the whole spectrum. We got the whole thing going on. It's just beautiful Black women. It's just awesome.
Give us our ice cream shirts, our Wu-Tang shirts. I should have been wearing mine, but But we've been talking about how there's been a resurgence of like childlike aesthetic in women.
Yes.
The pro Anna, the like pro anorexia
pedophilic,
movement.
patriarchal look. Yes.
Lots of that. Younger, softer, more malleable skin. The clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah,
it's
all
because
of
it's
that.
less makeup. It's your lips are pinker.
The
you
shorter
look more
nails. They're doing the
childlike.
clean nails now. They're saying that these are too much. Yeah.
I'm also noticing trends in like fragrances where it's like, if you want to smell like a baby or if you want to smell like soap, you mean like a child?
Like a child.
You want to smell like a child.
You want to smell like a child.
Got it. Understood. We hear you. Hairstyles, less dramatic.
Yeah.
More baby like.
To shrink women and make us fade out of the public space and kind of go into this childlike state because of how many of these white men are fucking pedophiles. But that's a big part of it. And then because you know what I said, the social flattening, all the black kids are on, they're more exposed to white people than we've ever been in our lives. They're constantly online on TikTok and all these things. Their exposure to white people is unlike anything we've ever had. So it's starting to affect how they think about themselves in ways that we never had to really deal with. There's no regional accents anymore. They're all talking the same. They're doing all the same shit. And a lot of those black girls I'm seeing are really starting to absorb this whiteness in ways that our parents protected us from, shielded us from, and made sure it didn't happen to us.
Yes. There's also been a collapsing of context for so many cultural things. Like, I'm seeing a lot of like younger black women either like shame or look down on things that were just part of our upbringing. Double Dutch, hand games, getting your hair braided. They're like, I'm not getting braids. Those look raggedy. And I'm like, hold on.
I've seen that stuff. And I'm just like, what?
Excuse me? And so in defense of like the OG whimsy bitches, they have turned like the whole whimsical black girl thing into like white adjacency when really whimsical black girls were bamboo earrings, loud hair, loud makeup.
This is our whimsy, like our self-expression in a world that doesn't allow us to be us is our whimsy.
Right.
But I asked on Threads, I said, why is your whimsy so white? Why is it that because it's an escape from blackness, right? It's falling in line with this whole thing. We're not African.
Right.
It's anything. I can only be soft, whimsical, bubbly if I can remove myself from the stereotypes of blackness. And that's why you're starting to see more of this emergent. Well, I was raised in the suburbs. I can't really relate to, the hood stuff. And, and we're all questioning my blackness and and I'm just like, okay, enough. So I think that all of this is folded in. Like, I think this is part of it. And so I'm not performing femininity in the ways that they believe I should be in this time and age. I am a 47-year-old woman who does not give a fuck what y'all think about me. And that's the thing that I think people are underestimating. They actually think that I care about this stuff, and I don't. What I care about, what I'm passionate about, people know because I do work in it. I work towards these things. I'm passionate about my friends. I'm passionate about, my community. I'm passionate about my family. Some of them can eat a dick. But all of this stuff that people think is important, like somebody was talking about this whole thing with the children of blood and blood. I could not possibly care less about that stuff. And people are asking me, were you going to see the film? No, I couldn't get through one chapter of the book. Therefore, I do not care. And you know what I don't do? I don't talk about how I DNF'd the book. What the fuck is this DNF culture? Why are y'all like making whole bookshelves on Goodreads about books that you did not finish? Back in the day, Nikki, we didn't finish a book. We just put it away and we started another one.
Never talked about it.
Why are we talking about I DNF this? And you're taking all this time to shade somebody. What is this
it's
about?
It's hater culture. It's hater.
Like what is this about going on social media and posting about how you didn't like Tayari Jones's kin? Who cares? Whatever happened to the social contract that we praise books that we love publicly, and if we didn't like it, we shut the fuck up. Whatever happened to that?
Also, a lot of now you and I are in that group. Well, I don't know if you're still in there. But that group on Facebook, you know the one.
Yeah, I'm still there.
And it's I see so many, oh, I didn't finish that, or I didn't like that. And it's like, did you not like it because you really didn't like it, or did you not like it because you didn't actually comprehend what you read?
You didn't understand a goddamn thing you were reading.
You didn't understand anything you read. Or I don't understand the hype around Octavia Butler. Well, shut the fuck up and go back to reading your like urban romance or whatever the fuck it is that you like. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, a lot of talk around bell hooks and Toni Morrison and stuff like that. Well, I just don't get it, and I'm trying to understand what everybody's liking, and that's why I posted. I don't know if you saw my post. I said some people are just not at the literacy level that is required to read these kinds of books and understand them, and that's just the truth. Me saying that is not me being mean. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You just don't want to confront the truth, and you don't like that somebody like me says it because you're used to living in a passive aggressive way of being and a passive aggressive society where people, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. But no, you can't read it because you don't understand. You don't understand it because you can't read it. And that's okay. Yeah. I'm not supposed to say that.
And in everything that we just talked about brings me to how social comparison on social media is really on steroids, like truly.
Yeah.
And it adds to the politics of meanness in a way that is just really sinister because it's, how dare you say you don't care? We can all say we don't care about that. Oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Y'all do care because all you do is fucking talk about it. But when you say, I don't actually care about performing these things for y'all, I don't care about looking a certain way or presenting a certain way, and then you move forward and you go do something else because you actually didn't care about that thing.
Right.
They're not used to people being honest in that way. They're not used to people saying, I don't care about that. And then you go do literally anything else besides the thing that you said you didn't care about.
Yeah.
They need to, like, they're like feeding, and it's not just you, it's, other people too, but it's like they feed off of people what they perceive as performing for them. I'm not performing for you.
That's the thing, is that I'm just being myself. And it's so interesting because everybody that like actually knows me. They're like, it's the same person. She's the same way. Online and offline. This is the one thing I will say to people, is that I've gotten colder and harsher over time because of how I'm treated on social media and in these public spaces. I will admit it has gotten to me. And that's part of why I said I was leaving too. I didn't like who I was becoming. I didn't like that it was making me more abrasive, and I can recognize it, right? Again, I'm kind of very self-aware, and I'm like, I'm recognizing that I'm snapping more. And also perimenopause comes with this rage that I actually researched it because I was trying to figure out to myself, why are you so fucking angry all the time? Like, there's got to be some stuff going on. So again, the introspective me starts looking for understandings, but I'm like, no, this social media shit, it's actually getting to me. I cannot be inundated with this stuff anymore because I don't like what it's doing to me. I'm not generally like this. I want to fall back and get back into relaxing, my pressure being down, not logging on every time and being like, oh my fucking God, you dumb bastards. And like, I got tired of that. And I was like, I got to fall back. It's making me somebody I don't want to be.
I'm kind of struggling with what you're saying because on one hand, I totally understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. And we have talked about it before. However, on another hand, there is like a moral licensing that people give themselves permission to be cruel to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, she's problematic, or she asked for it, or somebody had to say it. And it's like, actually, fuck y'all. And it's like two things can be true at the same time. Like, yeah, I hear you. I 100%. Because there are times where I'm like, you know what? The internet is making me bitchy. Let me log off for a little while.
Yes.
But also there are people who will, like, they call themselves holding you accountable. You're not in community with me to hold me accountable.
But accountable for what? Because what reparations or amends am I making? What reparations am I paying for? What are you holding me for? First of all, what did I do?
You didn't perform identity. You didn't perform identity on their stage for them. Shame on you.
True. I'm like literally, and I've said to people, I was like, well, tell me what I did. This one woman, the woman that had the mutual aid thing or whatever, And she said that months ago, she asked me for help and I laughed at her with someone else on my thread. And I was like, what?
Oh.
I was like, can you show me what it was so I could not see the context or whatever? Never gave me any screenshots or anything, just kept going on about how I supposedly laughed at them. Meanwhile, I had just reposted their mutual aid because I didn't know who they were, but I trusted the person who reposted it. I didn't know that person from a can of paint, but apparently they said that I was laughing with someone else on a thread where they came to me for something. And I was like, what? I don't remember this.
She accused you of sharing her mutual aid as a way to like embarrass her or like target her.
And I was like, what? I was like, maybe I'm leveraging the 212,000 followers to try to get you some help. And now you're saying that I'm doing this to intentionally shame you. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm thinking. I'm like, what have you created about me in your head when I don't even know who you are?
Yeah.
And I don't remember you. And that's that part of the limerence and social media, the parasocial thing, is that when I say to someone, I don't remember you, I think that hurts some people.
Yeah.
Because for them, they specifically remember a moment, whether it's positive, negative, or whatever. And I've actually I've noticed this in real time too, because I usually remember faces. I always remember names. But like some people will come up to me and they'll be like, yeah, you know, like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And they'll be like, yeah, you know, we met like 7 years ago. It's this thing. And I'm like, nice to meet you. Like, I don't remember you. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I don't. But for them, they remembered that moment deeply and they expect me to remember in the way that they did. Never mind that I met 100 other people that day. So again, kind of how I'm one person and then all these people have their own kinds of connections and I don't remember most of them. Some of them are lying, you know, making shit up, but I don't remember most of them. But yet I'm being held to this standard that I'm supposed to remember these things, feel a way about them, apologize, make amends, all these kinds of things. But nobody's sitting here saying, hey guys, maybe she just had a panic attack or maybe she was having a bad day. Oh, how many times have I had to go on stage right after a nigga did something crazy to me? You know this because you've been in my life. But having these wild ass experiences with someone I'm dating and the very next day, or even that day, flying off somewhere to go perform and having to just, as I'm filled with hurt and betrayal and pain and rage, having to still perform for you people, only for someone to say she didn't smile at me. She didn't want to take a selfie with me. I never wanted any of this.
Yeah.
I want nothing more than to never have to deal with any of this again. All I've ever wanted to do is write and help people.
Yeah.
And that's what I've spent the majority of my life doing. If you don't like me, don't talk to me. Don't think about me. Block me everywhere. You know how many people were saying things like, yeah, I don't like her, but I would go and read what she was saying. I would check out what she was talking about. Why are you checking out what I'm talking about if you don't like me? If you hate me so much, if I'm so problematic, if I'm such a bitch, how do you even know this is happening? You should have been blocked me.
Yeah.
And then for some of the people that I know have tried to holler at me, I started seeing them saying shit. I was like, I know the fuck you ain't talking. But that's natural too. And you know, and I don't even repeat what, you know, we know what happened, what happened. But like, that's the kind of thing that it's just like, I cannot believe the entire fucking internet coalesced because I left social media. I just want to point it back to everybody because we're going to get off this. I'm going to go smoke something. I just want y'all to remember that the entire fucking internet coalesced on the same weekend that Taylor Swift got married to talk about me leaving social media. What does that say, sis?
We have a bleak future. This is a bleak future.
What the fuck is this shit? What are we doing?
Digital mobbing it's a lot. And I need people to go outside and touch grass. The sun be out. They got vitamin D. They need to get some of that in them.
I just
yeah.
What it also says is, like I said before, maybe I am that bitch.
I mean, maybe.
Talk about me the whole goddamn weekend. I got you to spend your holiday weekend. We supposed to be cooking out with your friends and family, but y'all don't have friends and family, and ain't nobody cooking out. But my cookout is happening this weekend, and I got all these motherfuckers coming to my house because I'm gonna be frying catfish and whiting, and we're gonna be having a grand old time, which is something that y'all can't do because y'all ain't got enough people to even invite to come to y'all cookouts, much less be willing to pay to come to them and come and have a great time, have community. Y'all don't have that. I've been doing this every year. I consistently have people show up for me. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But see, you spent your whole fucking weekend when you should have had a fucking rib in your mouth and some potato salad on your fork, and you spent that shit talking about me. Don't y'all ever again in y'all lives talk about I ain't all that, because baby, I am everything in your life. Please believe
there it is.
Nikki, I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for coming on the show. You know you are always welcome on the show. You guys say goodbye to Nikki. All right. Guys, this was a long one. We've been here for 3 hours. I don't think I've ever streamed this long except for like on election night or whatever. But anyway, if you are new to my channel and you never joined Political Theater, if you were here for the first part, you know we talk about politics. We do about all those things. That's what we're really focused on. Today, I wanted to have this and let this be a little bit longer because I'm not talking about this shit anymore. Unlike y'all, I don't need to talk about me that much. I'm going to say that again. Unlike y'all, I don't need to talk about me that much. Everything about me is exhibited in what I do. I got all the awards, all the lists, all the citations, all the features, everything to prove it. My book didn't go double wood. Can you say the same? And I think that that's part of the issue. I'm not light skinned. I ain't got no curly hair. I ain't skinny. I ain't fucking on no nigga that whatever. I'm not none of those things. And yet I still, in my overgrown, fat ass, nappy-headed, foul-mouthed ass, still managed to accomplish more than you and your entire friend group combined. And I'm not even 50 years old. Now, you call me arrogant. All I got to do is look around this office and be reminded exactly why the fuck I am arrogant. I've changed the world. You'll never know what that's like. You see, when I mentioned all the books I've been written about in, and I've stopped counting at 50, and that's not even including all the dissertations and journal articles and all those things that feature me, I was pointing out that while you may not know who I am, and you may not understand the influence that I've had on this world and the impact that I've had on this world, and maybe you're new to me, but as I always say, I'm not new to this. So there was never a time where I was ever worried about what you all thought about me. Every time there's been some kerfuffle or something like that, it's led to material improvements for me. Like I said, shout out to my new Patreon subscribers. Overnight, y'all doubled my Patreon income. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you very much. See, because while y'all were wishing for social death, the very thing that you were relying on, the currency that came with talking shit about me, actually propelled me and put me on other people's radars. Smart people, people who know how to not listen to gossip, but actually go and see for themselves who Feminista Jones was about. And guess what happened? They decided they liked it. They liked it enough that they were willing to pay to support what it is that I do. And I'm so sad that you can't get people to support you in those ways. But guess what? I've paid dues. Over the years, I actually was hustling and grinding. A lot of you don't know what that is. You expect instant gratification. You expect to have a star career overnight without having done any work. without having paid any dues. Like I said in my video, I've been doing this since 2004. I've been doing this a lot longer than some of y'all been alive. So it's all paid off very well. The reason I could make a pivot in my life, the reason why I could go and get a PhD at 40 because I was bored is because I'd done everything that I set out to do. I cleared my bucket list twice. Some of you are still working on the first half of yours. Oh, you don't like that bitch Feminista Jones. But you can't help but say, God damn, what a woman. Think to yourself why I get to you the way that I do. Why do you let me irritate you? Why do you let me piss you off? Why do you let me upset you when I'm not even talking to you? I have no idea that you exist. And right now, you're watching this angry, feeling some kind of way, because I won't grovel, I won't apologize, and I won't pretend that I'm anything other than who I said I am. You want to be that. All this fake ass imposter syndrome bullshit, that shit is not real. You're insecure. You're not strong enough to fight against all the bullshit that people like me have fought. You let white people tell you how to feel about yourself. You let men tell you how to feel about yourself. You let the people in your family make you feel like you less than whatever. I don't do that shit. That's why I've been able to do what I've done. And you think I'm too harsh? I cuss too much? I'm talking too strong for you? Maybe if you learned to speak stronger, maybe if you had more gumption, maybe if your spine was a little more upright, you could make the moves that I have too. Instead, you're spending all your time on social media scrolling, reading all these other things that people are doing instead of doing them yourself. You wonder why you can't get that book written? You're too busy being nosy on social media. You wonder why you can't get that proposal done? You're scrolling social media. How about you divest too? How about you break the chain? How about you show some courage? Who am I kidding? You ain't gonna do that shit. You instead are gonna spend your time wondering about what I'm doing. After August 31st, you're gonna have to pay for that. To my loyal followers and my supporters, the people who have actually gotten to know me, the people who have shared space with me, the people who have dined with me, broken bread with me, have drank with me, have gotten high with me, the people who have shown up for political theater every single week, the people who have been ride or die, the people who looked at what they were talking about and was like, that's not the Feminista Jones that I know. And especially to those of you who are like, yeah, she's right about y'all. I appreciate you so much. Y'all been holding me down through this whole thing, through this whole weekend. Patreon chat, I see y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all been holding me down. I love it. I love it. And my friends, the ones who are not afraid to speak up for me, you are everything to me. Because that's what friendship is, and that's what loyalty is. And I understand that a lot of people have no idea what that means. Can you imagine having a friend and they won't speak up for you on social media publicly when other people are trashing you? Ooh, that's gotta hurt. But not me, though. I got some ride or dies. And when I put something together, people gonna show up. Can you say the same? Y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all with the love of liberation. I tell y'all that all the time. I love you with the love of my ancestors. I love you with the love you don't even have for yourself. I got enough for both of us. I love y'all in the spirit of community. I love everything that you are and everything you have not yet realized about yourself. I love that for you. I'll continue to fight for you, even when you lie on me, when you spit in my face, when you give me your ass to kiss, I'm still going to fight for you, because that's what my ancestors would want me to do. You know, y'all talk about all of this God and Christ and shit like that, and you act like the fucking devil. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm not ashamed of me, though. I love y'all. Y'all be good.